his Philly.
Hey, yo, welcome back. It is another week in the life, and the Fly Nerd Group is in the building. What's up, everybody?
What's good, y'all? Peace. We got live beats right now. Right now,
as we speak.
J-Dot is going real time with this production right now.
Indeed, indeed. So, yo, just so we can just get things rolling, I am the man in the middle, Coach E Soulstar. To my right today,
Cosmo Galactus.
right to my left, special guest
Ashley A. Woods.
Next to Ashley, we got
Moxie.
where right behind Moxie, we got the silent but deadly
Max Sansing.
Hey, yo, my main man.
Y'all know who I am, the ambitious one, Ambi Warhol.
And providing the sonic landscape, the newest and the truest, Mr. Young Dotimus Prime.
He said, don't bother me, I'm busy making beats.
Young Dotimus.
Dotimus on the beats.
Hey, yo, so it's been a busy week. We got a lot to talk about. We just gonna dive on in.
Let's go.
I'm assuming we all caught DC Fandom.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe,
A few.
perhaps, maybe a few of us.
You partially didn't miss nothing.
Okay.
You may not have you may not have missed it.
Overall, the event was trash. So y'all didn't miss shit.
It was an event.
Yeah, it's like they have every year like these annual summits where they talk about what's coming out.
Oh, okay.
It started with Marvel and Hall H, dominating Hall H for so many years,
Uh-huh.
and then everybody just wanted to be like that.
Oh, wow.
Stay tuned for Fly Nerd Hall H.
Right.
But there was a few things, yeah, that's true. But there was a few things that came from the fandom event.
The Batman trailer.
Yeah, the Batman trailer.
That's why people
Which matters
were posting
most.
it so much. Okay.
Yeah,
Of course, 'cause
that thing
that's
went
usually-
hard. I felt it went hard.
I think it's dope.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah,
I liked
think
it.
it'll be cool.
I think it's dope.
DC's one-trick pony.
You know, I feel
Yeah.
I mean,
It's the
it's the
one-trick
Batman.
pony, but at this point, I think I'm getting the Batman that I asked for, and that's the crazy ass Batman. You know what I mean? I don't think Batman always just like cool and calm under pressure and shit. But I want to see that Batman where he about to break. You know what I mean?
You be
Like
snapping
that.
off and just hurting people too
Yeah,
much.
like that craziness.
I mean,
you
he
know
was
what
walking around with his eyeshadow with no mask.
Right.
Yeah, like what are you doing, bro?
Right, what are you on, bro?
Like,
True.
Relax. He's made that statement where the actor what's his name? Robert.
Robert Pattinson.
He said that this Batman spends most of his time in costume and only takes it off very rarely to be Bruce.
Yeah,
and he don't like
wanna
being
be
Bruce.
So this is year 2 Batman, right?
Yeah.
So this is like Batman, like being Batman for the second year.
Right. So he's still learning the ropes.
Yeah, he's still on the ropes, but he's getting the kinks out.
Yeah, he working out the details.
Yeah. I mean, and some of the scenes look dope, like on a cinematography basis. Like some of those scenes look amazing. Like when he was walking in the hallway, for example.
The hallway scene was dope.
Yeah, dark hallway, 2 shooters shooting at him, and the only light you see is from the actual point fire. You know?
Yeah, the spark of the gun.
Right. And he taking them down, and it's like, yo, pause, but yo, breaking them
Oh
down.
my
rather.
goodness. And the scene where Penguin is trying to get away in the car and you looking like through the rearview mirror. And he comes jumping, he busts through whatever that looks like.
Hey,
a
yo,
truck.
the Bat Charger.
Yeah.
That like a muscle car.
Yo, it is a muscle car,
Yeah.
and it got a lot of muscle.
Yeah, that
and
like.
it's a muscle car with off-road capabilities. Because the spring distance when he bouncing up and down in that, when they show him jumping, it's like what the
It's
heck?
like a trophy truck.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about the Batmobile. Like you just said, it looks like a everyday muscle car, like a Charger or a Challenger.
Yeah.
So I'm not too keen on that. I'm open-minded, you know.
Assume that he has yet to figure out that I need to make everything like a bat.
Yeah, right.
He ain't there yet.
Word.
You know, he's still working out. You know what? It'll be more scary if I drive around in Dracula's car.
Right.
And then speaking of working out, like Robert Pattinson said that he intentionally didn't work out, so that's why he looks a little small in the suit.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I wish he would have worked out.
That's his excuse, because I remember early on the director said that he refused to work out, and not because he was trying to make a point, but just because he's a lazy asshole.
And then, like the last comment I have is, I feel like Christian Bale's Batman set the precedence for Batman yelling because never before was he yelling.
Yeah,
Like,
that's true.
Michael
Yeah, he didn't do that much talking.
Yeah, Michael Keaton, Val Kilmer, George Clooney.
didn't even yell, yeah.
Yeah, everyone was just like cool as hell.
Yeah.
Where is she?
Right. The screaming.
Ben Affleck's Batman spoke with his hands.
Right, and the gun.
Yeah, he was like, I don't give a fuck.
The best Bat voice always been an animated series.
Oh,
When I
yeah.
think of Batman, I read them in the comics.
Yeah. Everyone hears Kevin Conroy's voice.
Kevin Conroy is definitive.
Yeah, Kevin Conroy is definitively Batman, no matter who
Mark
acts
Hamill's
as him, and Mark Hamill is the Joker.
Yep.
But I mean, this Batman looks. I'm at least excited for it.
Yeah.
It's a DC project that I'm excited for.
It's a Batman project. I'm not calling it the DC project.
Right.
Other than the fact that Batman is a DC character. But I'm not sure that this relates to DC at all.
But as well as part of Fandom, we got a teaser from your favorite person, Ambi. We got a teaser from your favorite person, Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Rapping Dwayne.
Rapping Dwayne.
Rapping Rock.
Rapping Rock.
Rapping Rock. You know,
Yeah,
Ready Rock.
Ready Rock. He gave us the Black Adam teaser.
And it was very much equivalent to the size of his ego.
Oh, no.
Damn.
But that's a good thing. That's a good thing. But The Rock, I mean, you know, The Rock knows. We can talk about it. It's no secret. The Rock is very much self-centered. It's all about him.
My thing is this: like, how are you in the next Fast movie? But that's Vin Diesel's franchise. But then you're feuding with the man who
Let's talk
owns the
about it.
franchise.
See, somebody else who understands.
You know, how you gonna Bogart and then like not talk to me in my own project?
I'm not the only one.
That's The Rock's way.
Brand new to this.
The Rock came to change the DC unit. He said in the lead up.
Doesn't matter,
Right.
brother.
He said in his promo. He said in the lead up to the teaser trailer, he's like, "I've come to change the landscape of the D." He said, "I've come."
Right.
He didn't say. He said, "I've come."
Exactly.
He didn't say Black Adam is going to. He said, "I've come to change the landscape of the DC universe."
Oh, wow.
Well, remember the early campaign that he ran with, which is hilarious, was that he was talking about that his character Black Adam, he couldn't wait to fight Henry Cavill's Superman. He never mentioned Shazam. And it's like, yo, dude, that's your dude. That's your antithesis.
Rock
That's
is
your-
WrestleMania, man. Yeah, fuck that shit. That's SummerSlam. WrestleMania right here.
You know, but it's just like, you know, stay in your lane, play your part, participate, join in. Don't just come in and just stop everybody out the way.
And dominate.
But for those who saw the teaser, what do you think?
Let's see.
His hairline's been ready for that role for a while.
20 years for a while.
Right.
It's been 20 years
The
waiting.
hairline has been preparing for this day.
Yeah.
Yo,
But how do you feel? Did you see it?
I just saw it just now.
Just saw it just now. How you feel about it?
It looks legit.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. The Rock, he's good at what he does, whatever it is. That's why he got that ego we're talking about, you know? So,
Because he is the baddest in the room.
Are they trying to make him an anti-hero?
We don't know yet.
We don't know yet.
You don't know.
But I mean, clearly he's not a nice guy. That's
I mean, he's a
important.
villain. The character's a villain.
Not really. See, that's the thing. He's never been actually just 100%. He has no goal of like conquest or
Oh, no
ruling.
doubt.
He just wants to prove he's the baddest dude in DC.
Right.
He will just beat you down, and if you defeat him, he'll go figure it out and come back and beat you down again.
Well, I mean, in the books, he was just all about protecting Kahndaq. He was all about protecting his native home. That's all he wanted to do, was protect his protect his people.
and prove to the wizard
Oh, he's
that
like
he
Doctor
was.
Strange.
Yeah, you know, he
He's talking
was.
about in the past or the present.
And in the present,
Not Dr.
in the
Strange.
present, it's all about Kahndaq. In the past, it was all about being the better champion. But present day, when he woke up in the present, he was all like, "Yo, my homeland has been being raped and torn apart. I want to protect it." So I think they're gonna do the trope of he'll show up, he'll fight the JSA. It'll be another threat. Him and the JSA will team up and take down that threat. He'll save the day.
What would be the good reason for them to have him fight JSA?
Who knows?
Other than the fact that, you know,
He probably
want to
just-
beat Billy ass.
He probably just shows up and
He wants to do child abuse.
well, he just shows up and probably just is misunderstood. It's gonna be the whole classic misunderstood thing. Like,
I hope not. I want him to just be like, I don't give a fuck about none of y'all.
it's not gonna be that way.
That's what I
The Rock
want.
is going to play that.
It's not gonna be.
I
that
want
way.
The Rock to play that role. Like,
You-
really be
Diplomatic Rock.
And Ambi, you're not getting that. Just
Rock
let
is
that
not
go
gonna
now.
Diplomatic Dwayne.
Let that go now,
The
fam.
diplomatic Dwayne, the one that said fuck everybody in the Fast.
That's the Fast and the Furious. He could bully Fast and Furious. Furious.
He could bully DC.
Not really.
Yeah.
The tickets actually picked up when The Rock joined the franchise.
The ticket sales?
Yeah.
For Fast
In
and
general?
Furious?
That's the thing. Tyrese.
Oh, you want Fast and Furious?
For Fast and
He
Furious.
saved
He
Fast
saved
and
Fast and Furious.
I'm curious to see if the movie will look like it was made in 30 days.
How do we know it was him?
That's what I'm curious about, actually.
Well, we kind of can see in the trailer. There, that whole scene. There's nothing there.
There, yeah, it's just
Standalone.
those.
It's just
It's
those
dark.
blocks.
It's dark. There's,
Yeah.
and there's a bunch of people with guns around them. It looks very like they could have did it here with the lights off.
That's true.
So throw a green screen behind them, and that's the whole movie.
Why do you think they're concealing so much?
Because there isn't any. Well, they claim there's a lot to show. They're talking about all these landscapes and stuff, but that's why I say I think they filmed everything on green screen because it's 100% Unreal behind it.
Yeah, because they mentioned the Rock of Eternity. They mentioned the Library of Eternity. That's all green screen.
Yeah, and Dr. Fate is in this, so there has to be a lot.
Yeah, the Tower of Fate is definitely going to be
Yeah.
green screen.
So it's 100% one of those films that's done like through the Unreal Engine, where you can put a person 100% behind green screen, but you won't know because it just looks that good.
Like this.
Right.
Hopefully not like that.
I believe he's in space. I believe it.
Okay.
That was very believable.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's sad.
I thought he was there.
That was hilarious.
So
You
I
mean
think.
he's not on this golden thing?
Right.
So,
wow.
So, John, what did you think about that little snippet that we saw?
I felt it was a Mortal Kombat fatality. We've seen it. We've seen this before. There was, to me, it was like guys with guns. It was just a classic. Guys with guns show up, unstoppable forces there, kills first one out the gate, scares everybody else. There was nothing. There was nothing there that was like. I was like, oh, this is Black Adam. I was just like, okay, The Rock is electrocuting people.
Okay, now you're fly nerd level. What about regular people?
I mean, I guess, man. Like Black Adam's not a very well-known character, so you can kind of, with the general public, you can do what you want.
So you think that the general public looked at that and said,
Oh, probably they're like, oh, he's electrocuting people. That's great. You know, they probably like really.
because they probably don't know Mortal Kombat fatalities as well either.
Yeah, you know, so like I looked at that and I saw a Mortal Kombat fatality and I was like, all right, what else you got? Like,
And then he's hovering like Superman. You said that.
like, and then they gave us the very CW crest appearance. Like, here's Atom Smasher's crest, and here's like that was all CW.
That was corny because number one, I don't like.
Show me Dr. Fate with the helm on. Show me him doing the Ankh style shit. Like, you got Dr. Fate. Show me Hawkman. I don't want to see Aldous Hodge say this is Black Adam. Show me him in the goddamn
Because those
harness
logos
with a
mean
mace.
nothing to most people.
Right, those
They meant
logos
nothing
mean-
to me. Like,
mean
how does Atom
nothing.
Smasher relate to this?
Oh, that's what they were.
Yeah. That was the JSA logo. See?
Yeah,
Who would
see?
know that?
Yeah.
Who would know that?
And really the Dr. Fate one was the worst because it was just an up close, very, very close version of his helmet. So all you saw was metallic reflection.
Exactly.
You didn't know what it was.
So for me, it was meh. I was like, all right, this is a teaser. I actually felt better about the behind the scenes footage of Shazam: Fury of the Gods than I felt about the Black Adam teaser.
Yes.
Yeah. I feel like regular people would be excited just because it's The Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
that's a
how they
fact.
do
The
in Fast
Rock is the
and
draw.
Furious.
Yeah,
That's a
the
fact.
Rock is the draw.
Yeah, that's
That's a
So
fact.
is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a
both.
it's a catch 22.
It's both.
It's a catch 22.
Yeah.
Because if this blows up, then will The Rock commit to it long term? And are you willing to build your property now around this around this figure, around this particular actor, and let it branch out from there? Is he going to be your linchpin? Is he your Robert Downey Jr.?
There you go. And here's the real question. How many Rock movies honestly are good?
You tell.
Yeah.
No,
The
I'm
first
asking.
that first Jumanji was cool.
Yeah, what about the second?
The only continuing character I can think of for him was when he was the Scorpion King. He was at least the Scorpion King.
No.
At least in 2 movies.
No, that was
That's
terrible.
Great.
That was terrible.
Yeah.
It gotta be something.
Wasn't he
a part-
Hercules at one point
He
too?
wasn't in the Marvel.
Yeah, but he was a bad Hercules.
Thank you. So my point is, how many Rock movies are actually good? Just not Rock when he's in other people's franchise.
Jumanji?
That's not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
Was the Hobbs movie good?
No.
Yeah, I didn't watch.
No, he wasn't bad in G.I. Joe.
Yeah, he was
but
okay.
Good in
He
G.I.
was
Joe.
okay in G.I. Joe.
He wasn't
Yeah,
bad, though.
he was okay in G.I. Joe.
But the G.I. Joe movie wasn't good. So it's like, again, how many movies with The Rock in them?
It doesn't matter, Tony.
Now I need to look it up because I can't even think.
No. And this is no disrespect
like
to you,
he's
Rock,
spending
because we
a
know
lot
that
of stuff.
you sell tickets. We know you a crowd drawer. We know you got the gift to gab and you rap. I would not want to battle you because you'll probably punch me in the middle of the battle. But you know,
his calluses are almost the same.
His calluses are the size of my head.
Yeah, his calluses are made like his hands is just nothing but callus.
His arm is my body.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, I mean, obviously.
Yeah, I rap battle The Rock.
Body The Rock.
Yeah,
Moana was good.
Moana was good.
Y'all had
Moana was good.
San Andreas is awful.
Remember that Rampage?
Rampage was awful.
Come on.
Walking Tall was all right.
Oh my God, Scott.
Y'all going back now. So the earlier movies, remember Doom?
Oh, he was Hercules.
Race to Witch Mountain, Get Smart? I don't remember none of that shit.
The other guy,
Southland Tales was good.
That wasn't his movie, though.
Where was he in Aquaman? What
He was not in
other-
Aquaman.
That must be wrong.
No, there was supposed to be a cut scene. There's supposed to be
With
many
him.
cut scenes with him that never happened.
Oh, maybe it was maybe it was filmed, but they just never put it in there.
Those things never happened because they kept
he was in
pushing back.
CB4?
No, I think we just got other. I think now it's going on to
this is
Chris Rock.
Rock.
It says it's
The
going on
other
to Chris
Rock.
Rock.
The funny Rock.
We've moved on.
The funny Rock.
We've moved to the
There
other
was a
Rock.
San Andreas too. When?
I want to know. Yeah, that's something. That's probably
Well, that was made
what's
for
that
BET.
company that makes Pacific Rim,
Ooh,
Atlantic Rim, and Transmorphers and all them?
Dude.
Asylum Films.
Asylum.
Asylum.
Oh, he was in Be Cool. Be Cool was fun.
Be Cool was all right.
Cool was cool.
And the
Cool was
other
all right.
guys was actually funny
But
as
not
hell.
co-stars.
Other guys-
Only films that are his films, not co-stars roles.
No, I feel
Only
you.
films that are his
that
films.
are just him starring. I
Yeah.
get you.
Word.
Yeah.
But you know what else came out
Moana.
that they released was imagery from Aquaman 2. Excuse me.
Yes, we know how you feel about.
Oh, no.
We know how you feel.
You drowning?
We,
What's wrong with you?
we know how you feel about Black Manta suit.
So yeah, I mean, okay, it's like
Now we're gonna have this talk because
let's talk about this.
you have a problem with the suit.
I have a problem with muscle suits for people. I have a problem with that because they do this stuff in comics for a purpose. It's about still pictures giving action by showing muscular movements, capes to show they're flying. But in a live action, the first movie he had an actual pressurized underwater. They don't say here's a puffy suit, and I don't like the fake muscle thing. So like that was what led to the nipples on Batman.
The bat nips.
That's what I'm concerned about is that
That was a strange time.
it's cool to be comic accurate.
Yo,
but
that's
comic
Joel Schumacher though.
to
You
the
can't.
literal sense of
that's
like
a
a
weirdo.
muscular dude, you know.
But who you flexing for when you fight crime? Like, wait till they see these dips.
Oh my god.
Hey yo, I've been working on my lats, yo. It's gotta fit right up in here, man.
And remember, don't forget the bat cheeks.
Oh my
Yeah,
The
that
bat
was a
cheeks.
thing too.
Yeah.
That was all a part of that. That was all comic accuracy.
Wait, in what comic book were there bat sheets?
They had their underwear on the outside. What are you talking
They
about?
did have their.
So do we want underwear on the outside like in comics?
god. I mean, if you can make it look legit, you know.
Yeah,
But can you make it look
legit.
just like the comic and look legit?
I mean, they're doing it now.
I think you have to take it on a suit by suit basis. It's an outfit by outfit basis. Some outfits you are able to easily replicate in the real world. Other outfits you cannot. Other outfits, it's like, oh, if I'm gonna present this character on screen, like you couldn't have done the Falcon in just the leotard with the.
Why
with
not?
the
That's
wings.
comic accuracy.
Like you couldn't have done
See
that.
what I'm saying?
You couldn't have had my man jumping off the roof in the red leotard.
Hold up.
Well, do you think they try to make them look more cool for like mainstream audiences
Yeah.
versus
A lot of
actual
those-
comic book people?
A lot of those comic outfits came out during the 60s and 70s. So
Right.
half of them was dressed like the Commodores and the Smiths.
Right.
So you think about those outfits, like they don't translate for now.
Right, my man looking like a shot light jumping off the roof. You know what I'm saying?
Bootsy Collins.
Yeah, we were talking about the fact that the early Iron Man, his Iron Man armor was actually muscles.
Oh yeah.
And it's like-
it did fit like it like gave him a bicep that he didn't have.
I mean, we could take it like 20 years ago to the first X-Men trilogy.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
had like, the leather suits and people were
Yeah.
angry about that.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah, the Matrix.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
they did all have leather suits. I remember thinking that was weird at the time.
Yeah.
It
I was
was
like, where are
weird.
their costumes?
But it makes
So
sense in
do the
practicality.
X-Men wear their blue and yellow? Do Wolverine put on his mask? Like, you know, what's going on here?
I think I,
these Jim Lee X-Men outfits, man.
yeah, where's
I mean, as much as I would love to see the Jim Lee joints, I just don't. I don't know if that you can probably work that for Cyclops, but with Wolverine you got to play with it.
So here's the trick. Let's be honest. Wolverine, whose primary function throughout his career, act like all the way back before he joined the X-Men, when he was running around doing all types of covert missions. Bright yellow outfit, running through the woods, sneaking up on people. You telling me that that's practical and will work in real world?
Hey, his first appearance, he did not sneak. There was no sneaking. He jumped out the bushes on them dudes.
But he was in the bushes, which means he was hiding.
But he was just waiting for the opportunity. That wasn't sneaking. That was like
can't hide with
green
yellow.
actually work.
in the forest. That'll work. Yeah.
Yellow and green.
Yeah, man,
He
that'll
wasn't
work.
wearing yellow and green. He was wearing first of
Yellow-
all, where's
yellow and
yellow
blue.
in the forest.
How do you
Piece of
guys?
his fall.
How do you guys?
Lions, man. You know.
Well, how do you guys feel about the Suicide Squad, the second one? And you seen their costumes in that movie. How did you feel about that?
I was
It
alright
worked
with
because those were their costumes that they wore, not because they were being covert people. So
Yeah, that
that's
was
like
just
they're
they just
thrown
a
into
group of
something. They're
oddballs.
crazy
No,
people.
Javelin was wearing yellow and blue.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's a weirdo.
And Peacekeeper's pretty bright.
And
Yeah.
I like that they
He wears a silver fucking helmet.
Just showed up.
You know,
It's all-
I'm sorry. I do have to say, I really actually did want to see Harley Quinn in her Jester costume.
Which she's
In
never
the
done.
original.
Yeah, they have
Which
not
she's
shown her the
never
Jester
done.
costume. yet.
Almost on
And
purpose. No, they did show her in a cutscene.
Oh, do they?
There was a cutscene where she was laughing with Joker, and she had that on.
really?
In the first Suicide Squad. Yeah, there was a brief moment.
I
where they
remember
showed it.
hardly anything about the first Suicide
I heard
Squad.
the Ayers
Yeah.
cut might
The
happen.
Ayers cut is happening.
Nah,
my man cried his way to a cut. Yeah,
That is
boy,
not
he cried his
happening.
way to a
Might
cut.
happen.
Go ahead.
It's not happening. There's
Go
a totally
ahead.
different situation with why Snyder was able to get a cut and why he was not. He doesn't deserve a cut, for one.
Damn.
No, he finished his movie.
You don't deserve a cut. You worked hard on
It's
this.
not
You
like
deserve
it's-
shit.
Never
It's-
seen before.
It's not like Blade Runner where that's a cult classic that everybody loves. So they did, okay, we're going to do another version of this with no dialogue overlaid for voiceover. We're going to do another cut. Where's this? Nah, this ain't that. This is a movie
There's
nobody
a lot of
liked.
Blade Runner redos.
Yeah, there's a lot.
That's a lot of.
There's a lot of them. But people love them.
There's
but
a new one coming up too.
is it?
Jeez.
It's gonna be an anime.
Oh, you want the animation? Yeah. You saw the trailer for that?
That's all right.
But
It was interesting, but
But circling
Blade
back
Runner,
to
yeah.
DC fandom, we also got to look at Flashpoint.
Yeah.
eh,
We got to look at that Flash that runs funny.
Oh.
I do not like the way Ezra Miller runs. I'm sorry. We got a whole 8 years of a Flash running right,
yeah, that's true.
and for you to give me one on screen that runs like he's throwing something, like he's like,
He said he emulated a combination of swimming and ice skating.
just do what Grant Gustin does every week on the CW. My man, just get up there and
Nah,
he's done.
no, don't give me that either.
I'm just saying, like that dude runs right though. Like
Yeah,
Grant runs
yeah.
right.
He runs better.
He runs right. He runs right.
I feel like I was in an anime con when I saw Ezra bring in the Flash, teaser.
Yeah.
I was looking at his anime collar. I was like, I guess.
Yeah.
And do you think they could have took homie from CW, Grant Gustin, just threw him in these main movies? We wouldn't have gave a shit, because I wouldn't have gave a shit.
I wouldn't have gave a shit either.
The contracts, TV
Is
contracts
this really
don't translate.
from the film?
Yeah, that's the
Get the hell out of here.
So yeah, there's 2 Ezra Miller flashes, and then I don't know how they why.
I think he may start to run right. You can't run like that through a multiverse, fam. You're gonna break. You're gonna fall into something. You can't be running like that in the multiverse.
But, I mean, but the whole
You
thing.
might train him or something. He might run. He might run.
I hope, man, because this whole toss thing,
The only thing
I'm not feeling it.
Dude's not likable. I'm not looking.
Yeah, Ezra
And he
Miller
doesn't remind me of
he has not
Flash.
sold me on as being Barry Miller.
Yeah, he doesn't sound like Barry Allen.
Barry
He's not
Allen
Barry
either.
Allen.
Yeah.
The only thing that got me is Michael Keaton Batman. He's coming back.
And I feel like that they only put him in it because they knew they needed a gimmick.
They need to sell a ticket.
That's
And
gonna bring
usually
us in there.
Batman, so that's
It
what
might
got
take
me.
us out,
Batman,
too.
Batman in it. All the Batman gonna be in it.
Why
Well.
would he not just study track stars though? That
he's-
seems like that would make sense to me.
I mean, there's footage of the fastest man alive, Usain Bolt. Just mimic his running style.
I thought.
I mean, yeah.
I thought he was funny in Zack Snyder's cut. Did y'all think he was funny?
I thought he was okay.
So-
I like I like Barry Allen to be competent because Barry
Is he
Allen
cock-
is not.
is Barry Allen's a little arrogant too, a little cocky.
He had comic relief, like subtitle over his head the whole movie.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, man.
Yeah, had he been Wally West, I probably would have accepted it. Like, had he been like Wally and been like that, because Wally was a more jokey Flash. Barry has always, like, there's a reason that Bruce looks at Barry eye to eye.
Right.
Like that's one of the few people Bruce is like, yo, I go to you for help on cases.
Right.
So Barry Allen is very competent, very confident, and
Well, maybe we haven't got to that Flash yet because he's barely a forensic
And
scientist
that's
yet.
my whole point. He running all funny and shit like that. Like, yo, fam, you gonna meet another Flash and he gonna be running strip like I hope all the Flashes ain't.
Maybe they gonna run
like that.
faster than him. Is what you're saying?
well, see, they've
multiverse.
already had him on the CW show. They've done the Ezra Miller, Grant
Yeah, they
Gustin.
did. They met.
They met.
ran?
Yeah, he ran like that. He ran like that while Grant ran his way.
And he didn't say nothing.
Yeah.
It's also weird because truthfully, he's running and he doesn't need to really run fast because he's in the Speed Force. So I get what they're trying to show is that they're showing him at regular speed, but he's kind of like skating through because he's not actually running on the ground. He's running on the Speed Force. So the idea of him having to physically run fast is only for, again, visual effects. But, we don't
just
really
saying.
know what he ran like in the comic because it was a still picture.
We got a show that has had like 10 speedsters on it, and all of them run differently, and all of them run
And that show
well.
sucks.
It still displays the powers right though.
Are they doing Flashpoint with this?
Yeah.
That's what this is.
Yeah, they doing Flashpoint.
Or a version
Or
of
a version of Flashpoint.
a lesser version because it really seems to be all about Batman and him. And that's it.
Which technically, I mean, Flashpoint was about Barry and Thomas Wayne, so Barry Allen and Thomas
But
Wayne.
this is
so-
the other two Batmans and no Thomas Wayne.
Well, he's the elder Batman.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna do Batman Beyond, so this is as close as.
As we're gonna
Well,
get.
no. They have said that that's part of why they brought Michael Keaton back.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
To do Batman Beyond.
to do a Batman
that's
Beyond.
interesting.
Obviously, he
would
can't
be
do
a
regular Batman.
Yeah, he
He's
would
too
be
old.
he would be a good old Bruce.
Yeah.
He is an old
I mean,
Bruce.
he is old Bruce. He is old Bruce.
Yeah, he's there now. So
He is.
that-
Hold up.
and for years we talked about that, like when he's old enough now to play
Oh yeah.
and
he
find a
can play
Terry
the role.
McGinnis.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And actually, this dude would have been a better Terry McGinnis, which is
Ezra
also
Miller,
agree.
yes, better
That's what-
Terry McGinnis.
DC has messed up a couple of characters by choosing wrong characters
That's
for the
a good
actors.
call.
Just like Jason Momoa should have been Lobo.
Yeah, he should have been
Yeah.
Lobo automatically.
Lobo.
Isn't
I
he
thought
half?
that
Is
from
he half
jump,
Asian like the
actually.
Terry McGinnis?
I don't actually. He just looks like it. I don't know
Yeah,
what the hell he
really
is.
does.
He could do the haircut too.
Yeah.
He could totally do the haircut.
So they don't think it through in long term about, okay, we got you, we want you in our universe, but who should you play? Well, we need this guy, we'll just fill you in.
I think they look for the standard top 5. Like, all right, Flash. All right, we need a Flash. It's like, no, you don't need a Flash. You don't need an Aquaman. Like, you're wasting your time with this Aquaman because that was another clip that showed too.
They
Right?
did show
That's
some
the shit that you don't like with the
with the Black Manta suit.
I always have thought that they made him Aquaman to be able to compete with like sexy Thor and like the Marvel sexy heroes.
Hey,
or
look, I
whatever.
would have been
That's what
happy
I-
with, what's the dude
'cause
from
he
the
should have
Lincoln
been
commercials?
Lobo. I thought that
From
The Lincoln commercials. When I drive a Lincoln.
Matthew McConaughey.
He would have been a better Aquaman.
all right.
He does look more like
He looks more like
Yeah,
Aquaman.
that's true.
When I'm Aquaman, I drive a Lincoln.
He's a very good actor.
Yeah.
Swimming.
Did anybody laugh when in Snyder's cut when Aquaman went back into the ocean and those women started singing and then that one woman
Yo.
she was like ha.
Yes.
Yeah, I was wondering what was up with that.
I was like, what is happening? What,
Like-
like smelling his clothes? I was like,
Scandinavian
That's
thing.
weird.
That was like
That was weird.
that's some Xena warrior.
yeah.
It was.
It was very awkward. It was very awkward.
But that was hilarious because I was blown.
I think that was one of those scenes that he really did not need to keep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could have hit the cutting room floor, Snyder.
That was really. It didn't.
Keep it in.
It added no context. It added no story. It didn't. No character development. It was just like,
We were just supposed to feel that moment out.
yeah.
We just had to feel that moment
That was
out.
from the heart.
Right. That was from the heart. We just had to feel that one.
I did not to breathe on
I
that
need a
one.
different kind of soul.
Right.
I need some seasoning.
Every action movie needs the wailing in the back.
Yeah.
To let you know it's real. We go
Right.
in the Middle East, we need the wailing.
Right. You know shit gets intense when you hear the whale.
In the choir.
Let me ask y'all an honest question. First Aquaman movie threw everything, including the kitchen sink in it.
It did.
He went to the desert and was doing some archaeological, like, Uncharted shit. Then he went into some horror shit underwater. Then, like, he did everything that you could possibly do underwater, and he fought in every way that you could possibly fight. They had an epic world universe battle underwater with all types of shit. What else can you really do that's interesting? And you're bringing back the same guy to fight again.
Did they use the creatures from the deep in the first one?
Yeah.
Oh, and then they blew that, man.
They did
they
everything.
blew that.
There's all that shit.
They threw everything in the first one. What else?
all the lobsters, all the crabs.
They unleashed the Kraken. They did.
Then I don't know.
Yeah, I forgot they did all
They
of
did
that.
all of that
They
in one
did-
movie.
It was a lot of stuff. The flood and shit that was going to destroy the town.
Yeah.
It was a lot happening.
So, like, what's left?
Marvel doing the Spice Adams hand rub, knowing what.
Like you ain't got nothing left in the tank, fam.
And I
Drop this name on.
Because I remember liking it when I originally saw it, but yeah, they did put a lot of stuff in that.
Why
That
would
was
they
like
waste
multiple
the deep?
movies in one.
And
That was a
yeah,
trilogy
it was
in
a
one
lot of
movie.
storylines.
He shouldn't have went from a guy who didn't want to fuck with nobody to becoming king in one movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There was no time. No character
you kind
development.
of finished your path there, fam.
Yeah.
Everything else is on land at this point.
Aquaman versus King Shark. That's all it should be.
That would be hilarious. Especially the King Shark that they've introduced. That would be hilarious.
Yeah, but he could fuck with King Shark's brain, so it's already
Maybe,
out the
maybe not.
gate.
This King Shark might not have a brain.
I think he got some up there. He got to be able to, he got to be able to do what King Shark does.
They need to beef.
And then what about Wonder Woman 3?
What about it? Can we erase Wonder Woman 84 first?
It's a continuation of that story.
No!
Linda Hamilton is playing a prominent role. Linda Carter. Which one? Linda Carter. I'm sorry, it's Linda Carter.
Oh,
I got
okay.
Terminator.
I'm glad it's not Linda Hamilton because I don't really care for her outside of Terminator.
That's all
But
she did. And Beauty and the Beast.
Terminator.
And Beauty and the Beast. Yeah.
Terminator.
Stop.
I believe she's in 2 Terminator films, 3 maybe.
She's in 2. 3. She's in 3.
She's
Well,
in 3.
I think they're gonna fill this trilogy out. I mean,
The Wonder Woman trilogy.
yeah, I think it's kind of.
Man, if they still have her pining for Steve Trevor in number 3
No,
and
they
walking
can't do it no
straight
more.
the
They had to
fuck
close
out.
They closed that door. They
Yo,
can't
how
go
you
back.
live for 40 years and you still waiting on the same
Her
dude?
lesson. I hope she watched what's the Snyderverse, whatever, Justice League.
Snyder could. No, remember she deliberately went against that because she was on Team
Yeah,
WB.
but she had to see what happened. She did it her way, it didn't work out. Now I hope she opened her eyes and see like
If they break out Nubia on that,
Nah, they ain't.
Man, they could.
that might be their wild card to give you.
They Nubia, Artemis, at least they can at
Their
least do
wild card
Artemis.
is Linda Carter
Why? Why is Linda Carter a wild card? She been Wonder Woman since 1976.
because
we
that's
good.
who that woman who's
Wonder
directing
Woman.
it looks at.
I mean,
that's her angle.
I love the theme song.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love the theme song. I love to spin around and transform. That's classic. That's classic, yo. I'm not against that. They can have Gal Gadot spin around and transform. I'd love to see her spin around and transform.
That would be dope.
That would be dope.
The first Wonder Woman.
They already did the emulation in the last one with the invisible jet moment and all
So
that.
what do you want, Ambi?
Yeah,
I want the
Andy,
Wonder
what do
Woman
you
that was
want?
in the first Wonder Woman, which is not these other Wonder Women. I want the Wonder Woman that was supposed to be cutting heads and going around being a warrior.
Right.
Not the person who was a god killer. They established this whole story arc about her being a god killer, and then she resorts to being a man lover over the fact that she's a god killer. Oh, I'm in love. Fuck everything.
And she comes from a planet
A place with all
Amazon.
women. Yeah, they don't give a fuck.
And
Like,
right where they were all like very intense, strong warriors.
That's how poisonous America is.
I get the I get the initial
The male patriarchy.
I get the initial crush on Steve Trevor. You never seen a dude before. You done rolled out with him. You saw that he good in a fight. I get that. But when they got to Wonder Woman 84, we talking like 40 years past. This guy's been dead for
But not
40
only that,
years.
she's immortal. She's been living thousands of years.
Right, she
probably.
been living thousands of years prior to that. He is a speck of time to her.
Yeah, she wouldn't be caring that much.
Right. So I hated that about Wonder. I
Like, she
hated
would
that.
do something that she shouldn't do.
I hated
and
that.
know it.
I hated that, and I hated the occult store in the mall. Like, who puts an occult store in the mall, fam?
The fact that nobody went back there to check the facts, that would kill me, because it was like, it's a fucking occult store in a
mall.
Broad daylight, little kids
Right.
and little demonic artifacts and shit.
They're just selling them.
Right, they got legit
Everybody can
artifacts.
walk in there and
It
just
could be
touch
like
something.
Hot Topic, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, hot topic. You can buy a fake Ouija board. I get it. I get it. I get it that all the goth kids ran the Hot Topic. I get it.
Frank is
they
not
buying
amused.
Gremlins out that bitch, like for
Right.
real. $15.99.
Frank
Right.
is not amused.
But there was I felt another good portion of the Fandom trailer. I actually liked the Peacemaker trailer.
That was funny.
Yeah.
I thought it was I thought it was entertaining.
I don't know, man.
I was entertained.
It's a little weird.
It is
because
weird.
Peacemaker seems to be a little bit too goofy.
But it's a character that I don't give a, I guess because it's a character that you can do anything with, because Peacemaker is essentially a nobody.
Yeah,
in
he
the
hasn't
DCU.
done a lot of stuff. Yeah,
I mean,
not a lot of comic history. to go with.
he's a F-less character, so you can just kind of do whatever with him.
He was great in the Suicide
He
Squad.
was great in the Suicide
Yes, he
Squad.
was.
Yeah.
He was great.
But I don't know. When I saw the trailer, it didn't. I don't know.
I thought it looked entertaining. I think it's gonna fall in that Doom Patrol hole. I think it's gonna fall in that kind of weird niche.
And that's what's interesting. Like, you got this success. Like, Doom Patrol is really doing well. Titans is kind of like in the middle. It has that up. It has like a CW up and down to it. Weird stuff like the Lazarus Pit is too much. But do you think that they're gonna allow something like on that level? Because seems to be a lot larger budget than everything else. Do you think that they're gonna let this mix with anything?
I think it's John Cena.
No, that's it.
I think it's John Cena. John Cena don't sell me. I mean, he was good in Suicide Squad and shit, but I don't know.
And
Oh, you don't like John Cena.
I think that's why they gave him such a large supporting cast, because
Because Cena sucks. Cena sucks.
is that a WWE thing?
Yes, it is.
Alright.
Anytime he goes on stage, everybody yells,
He
Cena
dressed
sucks.
like an off-duty cop. I don't trust him.
Straight up agent. Yeah.
That's the girl from Orange is the New Black.
That's classic.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it looked funny. And I guess because it's a character I don't really give a crap about, and it looks weird and funny, I'm with it.
So is that going to be a show? Or?
A show.
It's a series.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
takes place
Okay.
after Suicide Squad.
Yeah, it's a HBO. It's gonna be on HBO Max.
Wait a minute, after Suicide?
Yeah, he did
after
not die.
he was in the hospital at the end of Suicide
He was in the
Squad.
hospital. Yeah, he was in the
Traction.
hospital. Then they put him in a prison, and then they brought him out as a part of some program.
I thought he died.
Nah, he lived.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he made it.
They brought him into some program because they said that they're trying to fight crime, and he's going to be rehabilitated through this program to be a better person. It's something weird.
What was Idris' character? Bloodshot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to get it right.
Bloodsport.
Blood sport. Yeah, sport. Yeah, blood sport.
He need a spin-off.
I missed all of these trailers, y'all.
It looks like there's parts of this trailer that look like Kick-Ass.
Yeah, it does kind of look.
That's
I
what
was
it
trying
reminds
to
me
think
of.
of what this was like. It is like Kick-Ass. That's very true.
I love
That's
Kick-Ass.
That's the vibe.
Yeah,
It's giving off the
Kick-Ass is
comedy,
great.
the humor.
I love part 2 when Nicolas Cage, he was talking to his daughter, the Kryptonite child.
Hey, Nicolas Cage has officially won me over as a national treasure, man. I saw Willy's Wonderland was a fucking amazing.
Yo, I finally
He
watched
just does anything.
Color Out of Space.
Man, that
Oh,
is
yeah.
so good.
Wow.
So good.
What
And I
happened?
mean-
I missed it. What happened?
Color Out of Space.
Color Out of Space.
It's a horror movie. It's very Lovecraftian and it's psychological and it's weird. He was not really the focal point. No particular person necessarily was the focal point, but the movie itself, which he contributed to with his weirdness, it was a great movie, and it's worth the watch from a horror perspective, from a psychological horror perspective,
Yeah.
from just a weird, like, what the fuck is that type of perspective. That movie does well.
Yeah, it's a direct adaptation of a H.P. Lovecraft story, so it's weird.
Melanie's alley.
Right.
Yeah, it's very Color Out of Space was really good.
Yeah, it fucked with me on a very interesting level.
Yeah, that,
Like, beyond, or just really quick, beyond Wicker Man, he's been in like some really fucking good horror movies.
I'm glad
Like,
he went
believe it
back
or
to his
not.
roots, because these movies he's
Yeah.
doing now are like the Raising Arizona type of movies.
Exactly.
That's where he belongs.
Yeah, he's really good in the Mandy, like all of
Yeah.
the one
Yeah,
we
man.
were talking about in the
Mom and-
car.
Mom
Like,
and Dad.
Mom and Dad. That movie's fucking crazy, but it was really good.
I didn't see that one. Yeah, I got to catch
It's
up
on
on all his
Amazon
stuff.
Prime.
It is?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's free.
I'm just gonna pull up Nick and watch all that stuff. I've been on a binge watching a lot of what's the martial artist that played in Uncharted and he was in all those other.
I have no
I mean
idea.
not Uncharted. I'm sorry. Undisputed.
I still have no idea.
You know what I'm talking
Michael John
about?
White?
Yeah, the white boy.
I know. Does the kicks.
Yeah, he does like all the crazy kicks.
Don't they all do kicks? It's martial arts.
No.
Right.
Yeah, no, not Ray Park.
He's the guy with just hands.
But he does all the like he's in a bunch of movies with Michael Jai White and Ray Park. They're always in these movies together. He's got a bunch of like these one-off movies that he puts on Netflix and Amazon, and they're basically like he's like basically the white Jackie Chan. He does these comedy martial arts movies that are fucking hilarious, but they're all good.
I feel like I should know.
What's the name?
I'm trying to remember his name. Why the fuck can't I remember his name right now? Look at
What's
it
the
right
name
quick.
of
You
the
gotta find out.
show?
Access
to
Accident Man was one of them. He has this other movie with
Accident.
Yeah, Accident Man was the one with Ray Park and Michael Jai White in it, and the guy that played the first Punisher, or the second Punisher. I'm sorry, the second,
Thomas Jane?
No, the second Punisher movie.
The dude from Walking Dead?
Yeah, that big dude, the big tall dude.
Okay.
Yeah, he was in that movie. Scott Atkins. Yeah, he was in Ip Man. He beat up. Scott Atkins is like really dope. He is really dope.
Oh, that's Jackie Chan's boy.
Yeah, he does movie after movie after movie, and he's dope as hell. All his movies are good, and he's a good, like he has all different types of martial arts movies.
Oh, he's gonna be in John Wick 4.
Yeah, and that's one of the.
Yeah, that's true.
He's a badass. Like he's probably one of the
wow.
Oh,
coldest.
now I see his face. Yeah. I've seen him in quite a few things.
You know, he would have been got. He kind of
Absolutely,
was slow on
yeah.
that road. The protagonist power the protagonist.
Right.
Locked armor.
Well, no, that guy
Breakdown.
that was trying to shoot him was an amateur,
Okay.
and he's not really. He's like a guy. They set him up, and that guy that was trying to kill him was not a hitman, not an assassin. Really, just like a gangbanger.
I would be too salty if I'm on a bike and I get hit in the chest.
Get hit in the chest like that.
2 feet.
Yeah, I would at least try to pop a wheelie like, all right, you about to hit these wheels, fam. I may fall off this bike, but you gonna hit these wheels, fam. You just not about to slow motion kick me off my
Or
bike.
turn and hit him with the back.
What was that Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible moment where he hit him with the bike?
Yeah.
I was just gonna mention Tom Cruise and be like, remember when he tried to do his Renegade movie thing and made Jack Reacher and it was awful?
Jack
that movie-
Reacher was awful.
The action was pretty good, but the movie was bad.
Yeah,
Jack
oh yeah,
Reacher
the
was
action
awful.
was good. That was about it. It just
Yeah.
what it didn't carry.
Shots out the edge of tomorrow. That was dope.
Yeah.
For sure. But yo, it's staying in the spirit of the season. It is October, and Michael Myers has struck yet again.
Came out Friday.
Came out Friday.
Halloween
A lot of money
Kills.
too.
Made a lot of money, which the theaters need. So you know,
The biggest R-rated films since the pandemic, you know.
Blah blah.
But see, to be fair, because of the pandemic, there's a new low. So these people that are getting these accolades, they're not necessarily getting them because they're really good movies. 50 million on opening weekend is not.
That's trash.
Yeah, that's not like old school.
That's the
normal.
new pandemic.
That's not 2 years ago normal.
That's the new pandemic
That's new
high.
pandemic normal.
Under normal circumstances, right?
right.
But then again, a Halloween movie making 50 million on opening weekend period is pretty good.
That is pretty.
Considering.
So for those who have seen it,
Yeah.
what's the feels?
I'm more confused than I ever was.
Really?
Yeah, because this is the only series where we really don't know anything about the killer. We don't know what he is. We don't know what his motivations are. We don't know what the real power behind him is. And now I know even less.
Yeah.
And only because there's this particular scene where, if you've seen Halloween, every movie he gets stabbed in the eye, stabbed in the neck, shot, stabbed in the gut, set on fire. Yet he keeps coming. Yeah. He doesn't stay down longer than a few minutes at most. Usually he'll lay there for a second, they look away or they blink and he's gone.
The Undertaker pop up real quick.
And he disappears and moves fast. And there's these random moments in this movie. Like, there's a scene where he's walking, like the dude is shooting at him, and he's just walking, and the dude is missing him because he's so scared. So he's just, and the dude, he's just walking, like almost, not to say this in a rude way, but almost like he's autistic. Yeah. Like his hands were just like at his side, and he's just moving like this, and it's like, what's going on here? So I don't know what Michael Myers is anymore. I don't understand.
Does it work in a good way? Like, we don't know the Joker at all, his power sets or where he comes from, but we're cool with it. Does it work with him?
It used to work with Michael Myers, but I think now they've taken that away by doing so much damage to him that we need an answer to the question.
Yeah, when you see it, you'll understand.
Lunell's in this?
Huh?
Lunell?
Yeah. No, it looks like Lunell, but it's not
That's
Lunell.
not Lunell?
Yeah, that's not Lunell. This just looks like Lunell. Yeah. I thought the same thing. I thought the same thing.
I had a problem with this movie because, I don't know. This is why I hate horror movies nowadays. Or just probably in general.
I don't think this horror anymore.
Why the fuck they write everyone stupid?
I was just gonna say that all of the people were so fucking stupid. The girl with the gun that was trying to shoot at him in the car.
She shot out all the damn windows with the killer on the car.
And Michael's sitting there watching her, and Michael kicked the door, and she shot herself in the head.
Dude I was like, said, "Hey, I don't never shot a gun before. Why the fuck you got a gun?"
Yeah, who gave you the gun?
Right.
So many of them were stupid.
They rented out his house. He came back home. They had both doors open.
Yo, first
time. Wide open.
Yo. What you gotta do? Call the boys. They right up the block.
Right.
Hold up.
No.
Hold up. No, I'm with you.
The motherfucker had a golf club. He locked himself in the room.
Cosmo Press.
Yes. Put down the golf club.
And then got the little bitty
pick up a little bitty cheese.
That little bitty knife.
Said, I'll investigate this matter.
Yeah, that shit was weird. But that's not the only time that happened. The scene where the dude had the pitchfork, or whoever that was, and put it down.
That was Laurie Strode's daughter had the pitchfork.
And then put it down.
Yo, I would have once she had the drop on him. He took the pitchfork to the back. Why she didn't press? I would have pressed it all the way through.
All the way down.
I would have. The police would have had to pull me off from stabbing. I've been just staying there kicking the pitchfork. Like, yo, I'm gonna do this till the cops come. We can't afford to take our eyes off him. Yeah, I'm tired. This shit hurt, but I'm staying right here.
They threw him to the floor.
Man, I would have went and got a chair, been like, bam, are we doing this? We gonna
seriously.
Like,
but I mean, like, why do they write these characters to be so stupid? Because then who you cheering for? Because it's like, motherfuckers need to die.
They try to.
Should I be cheering? Am I crazy? Should I be cheering?
Right now, the only smart one is Laurie Strode.
Yeah,
but she was in the hospital.
Nah, she dumb too.
Yeah, no, she dumb. She
dumb.
Ran a whole hysteric in the hospital, which is dumb. Whole fucking hospital running over this motherfucking dude.
Right.
You remember the end of the end of 2018. She's completely cut open.
Yeah, he like stabbed the shit out of her.
So she's in the hospital like open, talking about I'm about to go get him.
Yeah, that was unrealistic too.
So she dumb. Like your whole inside's about to come out.
No, the only smart character in the Halloween movies were
the psychiatrist.
Yeah, from the first two.
The dude.
Yeah, Dr. Loomis has been the only real smart one. Yeah, Loomis was like, we gotta kill him. Loomis was like, we gotta put him down.
And then the cop didn't want to listen to like the third movie or the second movie. It was like, yo, your daughter's dead, and it's like,
oh, now it's time to go.
Right, like
Loomis.
Yeah, Loomis wanted to kill him. Loomis wanted to put a bullet in him while he was still in the institution before he could even escape.
Yes.
He was like, I've been studying this dude since he was a little kid. This is evil. This is evil personified.
I know this
Shoot
guy.
the kid in the head. Like, let's body him. Body him up. Shoot him in the head.
Lay him down.
And yo, just a quick segue. Speaking of dead kids,
That's weird. I don't even know where we're going.
there's a movie on Shudder called Beelzebub.
Okay.
They kill Beelzebub. They kill kids from point A to point B, and that they kill toddlers, preschoolers, and teens. I had never seen
Wait,
anything
it's a movie about
like that in my
Anakin Skywalker?
life. Nah, I'm saying they go beyond killing the younglings, man. This
Well, that
possessed.
was the whole point.
They were trying to kill the next Messiah.
Oh,
And so they-
wow.
So that's like what they do with black people.
They was trying to kill the next Messiah, and so like in the opening scene, a nurse is possessed, and she pulls out a scalpel, locks the door in the newborn ward, and stabs each newborn.
Wait. So they're trying to stop the next Messiah. So apparently they're
Why are you
satanic.
watching this dark ass?
What's it like?
shit? What's wrong
NC-17?
with your brain?
We already know he got Shirley for a reason. We already said he's on the path.
I can easily.
What's it like?
brush that shit off.
NC-17?
It was a Shudder movie. It's a Toby Hooper. It's a Toby Hooper film.
Oh, well, there we go.
It's a Toby Hooper film.
Yeah, there you
That
go.
explains a lot.
Yeah, it's a
That
Toby.
dude's psychotic as hell.
It's a Toby Hooper film. But yeah,
He's like Stephen King on the.
Yeah, another possessed person like jumped into like the swimming class, like took a battery to like a car battery into the water and just electrocuted a bunch of kids. Yeah, it was crazy.
I wonder what that works.
It was crazy.
Yes, it will work.
I was just thinking about, like, I wonder.
I don't know if car batteries work that way.
Like however she had
Like the rain hits car batteries.
It was-
she had the clamps in her hands and the generator up.
Oh,
in her.
so it was connected.
Yeah, if it's
I'm like, nah.
Yeah, she got in with the live clamps.
Got you.
Yeah, it was crazy.
So, do we watch horror for the murders, or do we watch it for story and all that shit? Because I forgot.
I watch for story.
for both. Yeah, I like
both.
a
It's
really
a
good
little
story.
point A, little point B for me. I like the story, but I also want to see what interesting ways are you exterminating
Will it be
somebody in that
scary?
film.
I
Yeah.
do want to mention one more stupid
speak it on
victim in this Halloween movie, Halloween Kills. So, okay, I think she was maybe like the second victim after the firefighters. The black lady, she watched Michael walk into her house
And kill dude.
her man. Then she watches him. She's standing there terrified, and then she watches him walk over to her sink, take the light bulb,
Yo, tell me how
break
dope that
it,
was.
then walk over and stand like, run!
Yeah, why you not moving?
House.
Why you
I
not
couldn't
moving?
help but
It
at
was
that
a cool
moment.
kill,
But that
I
was a dope.
like,
Yeah, that was a dope.
Michael,
That's dope kill.
Michael is a savage.
Yeah.
Because remember when he was remember he was sitting there stabbing the husband,
Yeah, right.
trying to figure out which knife do I like better.
Yeah, stabbed him with multiple knives.
Like, oh, this is the one, and
Nah.
he walked out.
How he did the boyfriend on the stairs.
Yeah,
Oh, that was really like,
and,
yo,
and she watched him.
like
I
you,
was like,
and now when he
damn.
did that, you really came at me, fam. You really want to go at me? He was like, okay, I'm gonna
Right.
show you how I do.
Man, but then he
and
let
then he
up.
would stop and look at her.
Right. Yes.
Are you seeing
And then
this?
go again.
You seeing this? You seeing this?
Yeah,
You seeing it?
this?
You next. You seeing this?
next.
And why would you stand there that whole time?
Stand there the whole, and then her
Hey,
ass
He
went
was
down the
upstairs with
stairs.
me. Downstairs is the door.
The realest reaction in any horror film for all time is the Friday the 13th that has Dudley from Different Strokes in it.
Oh, when he tried
When
to box
Michael,
him.
when Jason came up in the crib, he's like, ah! Pew! Like, he was gone. That was the realest reaction. That was the realest. Dudley was up.
So, Mike,
So you wasn't feeling Buster against him, huh?
No, man. Hey, yo, Mike, get these hands. Hey, yo, get this Wu-Tang karate, Mike. Nah, yo.
Like what?
Nah, man. Michael Myers should have whooped Buster ass. Sorry, Buster. You should have took an L on that one.
That was funny.
He's, hey, yo, Mikey. He called him Mikey. So disrespectful.
so Mike,
Yeah.
so Mike Myers comes in here right now. What are we doing?
I'm throwing.
Are we
Jumping
flanking?
right out that window.
Man, right here.
I'll be swimming.
Right here.
Number one.
Right.
Number one right there. It's
Well, here's
number
the
one.
one thing that
I
we
can't
do know
swim,
about.
but I'm gone.
We're not flanking?
You might get a third arm or something, but you know what I mean. It's water.
No one's like.
But
jumping
peep
on
though,
that.
Michael comes in and when he looks around, he picks who he wants first. So once he picks, that's when I'm going, unless it's me. He pick, and he don't bother with, when he picks you,
And he go wait to see.
But that's the point, because that was a scene when he was in the house. He killed the dude with the knife, and he was just chilling.
Right, he was minding his business.
He was just chilling.
Like everybody has a moment to get away.
I think he was a little square. He was just chilling. Looking.
Yeah, they all have moments.
Michael.
Like, why did you just say that? The couple, the two dudes in his house.
Yes.
Like, the one dude, when he died and he heard him and he went looking for him. Like, dude, no, you heard that. Go the other way. Go the other way.
The damn lynch mob couldn't even beat him. They were beating his ass, and then Michael got up and was like, stab.
I would've-
Like,
The lynch mob made a fatal mistake.
I would have been the worst neighbor in this whole situation. They're like, yo, we got a posse to go catch Michael Myers. All right, let me know how it turn out for you tomorrow.
What you do is you sit in your car
shotty.
about 20 feet away.
Yeah.
You watch him kill everybody, then you run him over.
And keep going.
Yeah,
Don't
no,
get out the car.
right.
Don't look at him.
Don't
go.
live. Where was it?
Haddonfield, Illinois.
Yeah, Illinois.
Haddonfield. It doesn't exist
Yeah.
anyway. It's not a real place.
All right, well, fuck them anyway.
It's not a real place.
Yeah.
That couldn't have happened in Rockford, yo. That couldn't have gone down in Rockford or Elgin or Zion,
Yeah.
Peoria, Aurora. None. They would have been ready for you, Mike.
Listen, we remember the whole thing about the reason why most of the time black people, they don't put in these type of movies. Attack the Block is the reason.
Yeah.
Attack the Block is what would happen in the hood if something really went down like that.
Yeah.
He walking up on the wrong group of homies.
You're going to get served.
The young G's
Yeah.
going. They emptying every clip.
When they come out, like 2014?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're doing a sequel, even though I'm not sure how that.
Hey, what was the joint what they did in New York? The
Oh.
vampires.
Oh yeah, yeah,
They had Sawyer
yeah.
Aldana in the beginning.
Yeah.
It's like
It's the same. It's real because it's one of two things that's gonna happen with us. We gonna hear the noise. We gonna stop and look in the direction, and we gonna say nope, and then we gonna get the fuck out of there.
Man,
Or we gonna go in.
I've
Blaze.
heard weird noises my entire life. I've never felt the need to investigate.
No, you don't do that.
At all. Right, exactly. It's a weird noise. And you know that. You know what? The catch 22 of that. The catch 22 of that is that when it is a real threat, we get caught off guard. 'Cause like, I ain't gonna check it out. Like, what? And then you feel like the cops ask you, why you ain't go check it out? Somebody in your crib? Cause I watch movies.
I'm still alive, right?
I watch movies, fam.
Well, like Jay said, because it's a weird noise.
Right, it's a weird noise.
It
I
doesn't
ain't going.
belong, and I don't have nobody else around. So why would I go?
Especially
No.
if you're by yourself and you've been in your crib for a certain period of time, you understand the noises that go on, right?
Yep.
So if there's one that's not on your list, it's like no.
Yeah.
Right.
That's not a normal house settling, not a normal pipe creep.
Right.
Nah, I'm out.
Out in your location. Hello? Is anyone
Yep.
here? No.
So when they
Don't
gonna
do any
write
of that.
common sense into?
It wouldn't be a movie.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's a thriller versus horror?
Thriller is when people are in a situation they have no choice.
Right,
And they have to
thriller
deal
is
with it.
Silence of the
The
Lambs
game.
is a thriller.
Yeah.
But they
Silence of the
thump on her.
Lambs.
She had the thinking.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
thriller.
That's why I said, yeah, but a horror
It's a
has to have
thriller.
dumb people because otherwise there's no killing.
If you don't have anyone frozen in fear, then it's an action movie.
The only place that would work is in like Aliens when you're trapped in a space and have nowhere to run.
Run. Yeah.
Yeah, when your options are limited. They had a whole town
They had a
rally
whole
up against
planet.
this dude.
They could have left.
They had
Why are you still living in a place where Michael Myers killed and you know he's still alive?
but also the mob mentality on the other mental patient makes zero sense. Zero sense.
They didn't know who Michael Myers was.
Like you guys know this guy ain't Michael Myers.
How they
man.
know?
You know this dude ain't.
That was the
Michael
whole
Myers.
thing is that they said, well, he was wearing a mask. Or that was in the second one. Are you sure that that's Michael Myers? I don't know.
They gotta be
They got
a way to write
they got a description of this dude.
There gotta be a way to write a smart horror.
There is, but
Yeah.
there is no such thing.
But there can be psychological
There can be.
horror, which
There
is
can be.
technically a
But I mean, in terms of like a
thriller.
slasher guy, like a Jason or a Freddy, coming in to stab people, if he never gets to stab people because they outmaneuver him,
Well,
you walk up in the
you take Freddie out of that because he
martial arts
exists in the
out the fuck out of
Sidney
dreamscape.
Prescott is smart. She didn't survive all her fucking
Yeah,
movies.
Scream.
Yeah. Old girl
Yeah.
from Scream that survived every Scream she been in.
She's smart.
They're
Yeah.
doing a new Scream minor.
And she's in it. Yeah, she's doing. They doing.
Well, let's
another
be
Scream.
honest. I'm over this old person from the original series coming back to help the young people against the same fucker killer. Like I'm over that. Like let's move on.
So what you talking about? Because that's
We need new characters. We need to stop rehashing the same. I don't care about that character no more.
Okay, what about the remake to Friday the 13th
I
that had
don't
no
care.
repeats? That
I
had,
don't care.
had 0 repeats. It was all new people.
I still don't
that's
care.
true every time.
Friday the 13th, the remake that happened with the guy from Supernatural, Jared Padalecki, had no callbacks.
I still don't want a remake of the same shit. Let's go with some new shit. That's the reason why writers who have original content are not getting enough opportunities, because they keep saying, well, we got this, we got rights to this. Let's just go this easy route.
Yeah.
And then they're just bullshitting. I don't want that no more.
So all right, Ambi, pitch, elevator pitch your slasher.
No, I'm not doing that on here.
Don't do that shit.
I'm saying,
Don't do that
Nah,
shit.
nah. I'm not giving my shit away like that. Nah. No free content for them.
Well, one that I will talk about that I think is really strange that's happening is I saw yesterday there's supposed to be a I Know What You Did Last Summer television series.
Yeah.
Why? The movies weren't even good enough for there to be a show. There shouldn't have been a sequel.
I guarantee y'all a
It's
Final
in the films.
Destination remake is coming.
Probably.
That was kind of cool.
And the last
though.
one was
I
that
kinda
best
fuck with
one though. The fifth one.
I didn't see it.
It was really good.
But the rules don't make any sense.
yeah, I don't like the Final Destination rules. You cheat death, it comes back for you. They don't be all cheat death all the time, every single
Right.
second of your line.
Like anytime you make a
Hey,
decision
I
to
don't
go,
even want to talk about that concept on camera either. So anyway, y'all see Chucky?
I saw the first episode.
what y'all think?
Episode.
I'm interested.
It's
I'm
a series.
gonna check it out.
Another
Sci-fi.
remake.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it.
Remake.
I'm gonna give it
And
a couple
it's on
episodes to win
USA.
me over. I mean, I'm kind of interested. I wasn't blown away, but I'm gonna let it. I'm gonna give it a few episodes, either grab me or disappoint me.
Yeah.
So
I'm interested.
I'm
to
gonna give
watch
it. I'm gonna give it a chance.
Where does the series start?
It's a whole new thing. It doesn't relate to anything. Brad Dourif is just still the voice.
Well,
Well, it does. It does kind of.
yeah, because in the trailer, Tiffany is in it, and she still exists.
Yeah, Tiffany
and
does still
and
exist.
Andy is in it. Andy is an adult.
So the question
So
is, where does it
it's
start?
just a different child.
Just a different child.
It's a different child. He finds Chucky at like a yard sale.
Okay, so
And
it's the
like
same.
original
So it's the same doll.
Right. Yes.
Same.
essentially, Right.
What's his name? Charles Lee
Ray.
Assuming that
That's your guy.
this is not the Chucky that almost became human. This is
they
going
pressed
back.
his hair.
Right, this is going back, but this also takes place in the town that Charles Lee Ray was from. So this is like where he grew up. Like he's like
He went back
he's
home.
So his
known
spirit
in
was
this
already
universe.
in that
this isn't-
doll.
In
This
that
isn't
dog,
Chicago.
Just
yes.
dormant or something?
This isn't Chicago.
It's not in Chicago. It's from the town that Charles Lee Ray originally was from. Like where he grew up in. I think where he murdered people and shit.
But the doll was dormant in the Chucky doll. I mean his soul.
Right.
And it was just. So how did he activate the soul? Wake him up or something?
No, well, the doll is already kind of talking, and he gets a anonymous phone call, which I'm assuming is probably Andy, and he tells him to check and see if there's batteries.
How did
And
he
when
know that he had it?
We don't know.
Oh, it's
don't
one of them.
know.
See,
Yeah,
here
Yeah,
we
it's
go.
one of them. We don't know.
You gotta watch the show for all these tricks.
Yep.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the first episode so far.
Maybe.
I think it comes on every.
Yeah, I see.
Tuesday.
That's the thing. I want to see their explanations. That's what has me interested.
Yeah, I'll let him get the
wanna see the
explanations like you
explanation.
did with Wu-Tang Saga. I'll let you tell me if it's good or not. Then I'll
Right.
watch. Because I'm tired of stuff being canceled.
Yeah, true.
When you just getting into it, like
White man.
Why the Last Man getting. I really like that.
You got
It was
canceled?
alright.
Not the show. I really like the character and the story.
Oh yeah.
So I was looking for, like, this Why the Last Man was once supposed to be a movie years back, and then it's always been going through some development hell. So the fact that it finally made it, I was looking forward to watching it.
Yeah.
And it's already canceled. I'm like,
Already done.
Here we go.
They've
See,
really
that's what I'm saying.
streamlined the process.
Original
was
content
alright,
flops.
though.
Remake, hey.
Yeah. Because Why the Last Man,
I
that was
see.
like 2003.
Yeah, that's some good shit too.
That was
like,
Vertigo.
but
Yep.
technically they did a version of Why the Last Man similar that was on TV.
Oh, the Last Man on Earth with
Yeah, which was kind of similar on a general concept
it was. I mean,
without the goofy weird shit.
yeah. I see what you're saying.
And that show's still on, right?
No, it's
That
done.
ended too?
But it had a definitive. I think they
had
had an end in sight. I think it ran for like what 4 or 5 seasons.
Yeah.
I mean, the book was really dope. I really enjoyed the roller coaster ride. That was the book. It was one of those it was one of those third wave Vertigo books that killed. It was, you know, it was right up there with Fables and 100 Bullets in terms of popularity.
Yeah.
You know, it was a huge seller. I mean, that book sold out like crazy. Like that last issue was like a major event.
Yeah.
You know, like you got to midnight release. I remember when that book came out. I still had the shop open. I got to midnight release that book.
Say that again. You still had the what?
Like the shop was open.
What shop was that?
Brainstorm.
Yeah.
It was open, and
Who owned Brainstorm?
Once upon a time, it was me.
Oh, right. Go ahead and say that.
Once upon a time, it was me.
Yeah.
Man, speak that.
So you got to do a midnight release for that book. You know,
That's
that was huge. You know.
You had a line and shit.
Yeah, we had a few people. So I mean, that was a big deal. So I was hoping that the series would be good, and I thought I saw where they were going with their interpretation, but I kind of felt like without the main character being actually Yurik, without him like
it wasn't the same guy?
Yeah, it didn't feel he didn't sell me on Yurik. I wasn't
he
feeling
sympathetic?
Yeah, but it was different.
Yeah, it was just different. It was a different show. I don't think it was bad. I just hadn't caught it. I felt it was kind of like wavering, but yeah.
They wrote a different version of the character that wasn't entertaining or interesting.
I felt like the things that
it was focused on a lot of other things.
It was focused on exactly.
It was focused on a lot of other things. He only had minimum, like he wasn't really had
the
too
focus.
much screen time.
Yeah, he wasn't really on screen that much.
He was like second nature. It was everything else that was happening.
Yeah, like, and
I was trying to build that, and I don't think that sold it, and that's why.
Yeah,
similar to what happened with that other on that Netflix comic, Jupiter's Legacy. Jupiter's Lethargy.
I think had they shown Yurik in those early days by himself,
that's where it should have started.
Where he was like really alone before he found the agents, or he stumbled across like when it was just really him and the monkey.
Yeah, that would have been interesting.
Like him walking around like, what's going on? Like him really being for a while the last man before he discovered that there was other people out there. Right, they didn't delve into the fact that, you know, before he met all these other people, he was like kind of just like roaming around.
Who did this?
Brian K. Vaughan. It was
like the show.
Oh, FX.
Yeah, I think it was a woman director.
FX. I don't know who did the.
I don't know her name.
I don't know I don't know who was the director, but yeah, they just, it was not a good interpretation of the source material to me.
Interesting.
It was just not a good interpretation.
Was it like Wanted?
Oh.
Was it that bad?
Oh, wow.
It wasn't as altered as Wanted.
Okay.
Wanted looked nothing like the source material.
You know, I always think about Wanted because it is one of my favorite
That comic is
graphic
great.
novels. It's so fucking good.
It's
and had
great.
they just told the movie the way that the books were, it would have been, it's like it would have been a completely different movie.
And that's an example of where comic accuracy would have worked. Because he was already very practical in the gear that he wore, the mask that he wore. They didn't have none of that in the show. In the movie, none of it.
They were all assassins. There was nothing about.
There was no villainies, nothing.
None of that existed. It was so weird.
Where was the living pile of shit?
Chet. Where was Chet?
Seriously.
The literal shorty shit stain was in the building.
That was what made it so interesting.
Yeah.
And they had killed all the superheroes. It was such a fascinating concept, and they just tanked that.
Yeah. And do you think that there's some? I always have this back of my mind whisper that always says Hollywood deliberately tries to make bad anime movies, bad video game movies, and bad like indie comic book movies because they know that content would blow their shit out if they really did it right. So it's sabotage.
So you think they set out to make a bad video game movie? Like they get in here, they get in like, hey guys, we need this to be horrible.
I do.
How many good?
They've had a lot of tries.
The video game is actually better than the movies.
Yeah.
If
It's a hard translation.
Assassin's Creed, for example, not only you learning some shit, but
And you got story in these games and in these anime and mangas that they're not even considering, and that's the stuff that makes them good.
I just think they don't understand what they have and just kind of like boil it down to like to where Johnny Football could get it. You know, I think that's what the issue is.
I would go with that, except we've seen when they don't like Christopher Nolan movies, unapologetic. They go in. So we know that they can do shit that's intelligent and have a complex story.
And Tarantino could be ignorant as hell.
Yeah.
You know
but then whenever they do these other projects,
I mean, I know people are excited for Cowboy Bebop. I'm not. That's like that goes.
That's
back,
scary.
That goes back to the question you asked me earlier about when we were talking about Wolverine and all that, how they will appear in movies. I'm not hyped because first of all, why is Iron on a leash? What Spike? He's too old, and reading the interviews with the team behind it, they didn't even watch the series.
Is that why Edward's not in it? Because I haven't seen anything with Edward. I haven't seen any image of
They
Edward.
probably gonna make a special episode for Ed to because she's binary or some shit,
Pause. They didn't watch the guys making the live action.
No, they didn't watch it thoroughly. I think they were talking to each other like, oh, did you know that this was like a huge...
They read like material.
It's only 20 episodes.
That's
Dude had to go watch.
Yeah, it's not even that long. It's not even that long.
No, all anime really was long.
You could like 3 days that.
Yeah.
And that's the other problem.
Dragon Ball's long
that's
as
the
fuck.
thing. We're in the age.
So many power-up
We're in the age of entertainment where Hollywood won't listen to the audience.
Yeah.
Back like when we were coming up, we were heard. The audience was heard. But it's like nowadays these new writers, and I work with some of them, so I shouldn't be talking. But still, like they like no, I want to insert myself, and there's nothing wrong with inserting yourself, but it's a certain way to do it.
So they control the narrative, so to speak. You know what I mean? And that's what really, because we watch this stuff, but it's a process. We all know it's a process. Someone
Huge
sit
process,
at a table, thinking table, and write all this shit. Write every action, every move down. There's someone with a camera come and film on all these moves, and they collect it, put it all together, and editing.
And make sense of it.
Because I think the actress who played Faye, she was talking shit to the fans on Twitter. Twitter's just a horrible place.
It is.
Well, they were dogging her though.
I mean, but still, like, if I was in her position, I just wouldn't say anything because I'm in the Cowboy Bebop movie. Like, there's nothing you can say to me that would make me fall off my square. You know.
The thing that concerns me too is like from a design perspective, obviously the actor is not really knowing these characters is concerning, but I think from a design perspective, it's like it's okay for Spike to have green hair. It's okay for them to have like these outrageous
especially in the
looks.
future.
Yeah,
especially in anime and manga. Point blank. Period. Strange hair is like 20% of the genre.
They do that in Japan anyway.
Right.
They're in Japan right now.
Like it's nothing wrong with them having these outrageous looks because that's the draw of what you're doing.
It's supposed to be stylized.
It's supposed to be stylized and unique and interesting.
Exactly. The whole thing about anime is that you look at these outfits, you look at these things, and in the physical world, they don't work. But this is why we like them, because they don't work.
Exactly.
So the translation of anime
story, but the monster has to be true.
That's why he was winning and all.
Yeah.
But that's also why there's these things that Godzilla does that was never in like American version. Right. There's these moments where he looks and he shows annoyance, he shows irritation before he snaps out.
And he did that in the and he showed his his grumpiness in the current ones.
He gets annoyed by shit. He be like, y'all really?
And you're right. Toho does not let Godzilla lose. Godzilla don't lose.
Yeah. Or he'll at least lose like a Goku moment and then come back.
Yeah. He'll catch a lesson, but he'll come back.
Figure it out.
Godzilla, he surprised me with that agility when he was going in on Kong.
Yo, he MMA'd him.
Yeah.
Because he got them hips. I was like, yo, he moving.
Well, that's where the power from. If you punch from your hip, they tell you that you punch from the power come from your hip.
I mean, but at least he don't have them like Tyrannosaurus arms.
And then on top of that, he put his foot on Kong's chest and yelled at my man.
Like, stay down.
You know what the fuck I am?
I was like, this is ignorant.
Hey, he was a goon.
Yeah, no, Godzilla fought him like a G.
He did.
He gooned him up.
Straight from 47.
Right.
He kicked the door in. What's up?
Right. Yo, when they was down, they had to take a special route to get to that little underground kingdom. Godzilla was like, yo, y'all in the crib?
Fuck this, right?
Yo, what y'all doing down there? Hey, yo, fam.
Yeah, they had to go through a portal.
Right, they had to go through a special portal. My man looked at the ground, burned through, was like, what y'all doing down there?
He's like, that's my place.
Right, yeah. Like, look, Con, you can swing around the crib after this is all over.
Godzilla gotta be a gangster. That's in the contract.
That's
Right,
it.
it's in the contract.
That's it.
Godzilla gangster.
The one American movie I would say is a love letter to anime is Pacific Rim.
Pacific Rim is a love letter.
But
And he's not American, so that works.
Or talk about Guillermo.
Yeah.
And see, that's the thing. Like when you think about being in a mech, you don't think about the dangers, like the impact. Those people drown. Like that duo.
Yeah, the Russians.
Yeah, like all that water came in. That's what happens.
Yeah.
What about the Matrix with the Ghost in the Shell elements? And
Yeah, the Matrix was a good example again.
True.
The first Matrix.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because there's a new one. You think they're going to live up to the hype?
I want to know what it's even going to be about.
I'm pissed that Morpheus
Neo.
is who he is.
It's about Neo getting lost in the Matrix.
I don't know. I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence about
I mean, he
it.
can see again. He's
Yeah,
alive.
see, that's the
Right.
thing.
Yeah, he's alive.
There's a lot of things there.
Did it restart?
He's a program.
Right, did it
Well,
restart?
he actually is a
maybe he's a
program, but he
program.
still has a human body.
But he's a program.
But did it?
They can't erase the injuries.
At the end of Matrix Revolutions, they said the cycle begins again. So did the cycle begin again? And
No,
this
so
is just a repeat.
The cycle begins again, but it still continues.
Yeah, right, it's just a repeat. It's just because they say the
get
cycle goes.
reawakened.
Yeah.
No, it's
Like,
continuing
you've been
from
here
the
before,
Matrix Online story. So in the Matrix Online story, Morpheus was looking for his body because he wanted to give it a proper burial. Because remember they had a truce, so he was talking to the AI, and the AI said, "No, we're not giving you his body because that belongs to us."
Right.
They put the body back inside of the plant.
Right.
And so then he was like, well, then, so you're saying he's alive? They was like, well, the Morpheus, the Neo is not alive. Because that's us. But the body is alive. He said, we want it. So then Morpheus went through this whole campaign to try to get Neo back and started a revolution. In the game, Morpheus was killed.
Right.
But the theory is that he wasn't actually killed. He went to the Merovingian to fake his death. And you know that the Merovingian has the power, being an old Neo, to change you, like he did the Oracle. So this is still the same Morpheus. Obviously, Lawrence Fishburne, being out of shape and too old, can't play Morpheus, but it would have been him.
Or has John Wick been in the Matrix this entire time?
Hey, I wish!
What it is.
John Wick.
What it is.
I wish!
Hey, yo, y'all killed my cyber puppy.
Kill my dog.
You killed my cyber puppy. I'm here for
Kill my
vengeance.
dog and destroy your Zion.
But they do have to explain how we watch Trinity physically get skewered.
Yeah.
And he was blind. Like, his eyes were fused and cauterized. He had no eyes left.
Yeah.
So, like, that healing is like, nah, I ain't going. Unless he's okay in the Matrix, but in real life, he gonna show up with no eyes.
Had the piece of cheese.
Yo, he gonna pull up like homie in Star Trek in the special chair. All he can only talk via the beeps. Beep, 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 beep. That's how I want to see real Neo. If I don't get that real Neo, I'm gonna be disappointed now. That's the expectation. Do you dog? But
So I don't know.
Yeah, we'll
I'm
see.
good.
But you know, speaking of anime and manga as things and things from Eastern culture, Squid Game is taking the world by storm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is
Which is like a live anime.
It is a
so
phenomenon.
It is great.
It's so good.
It is a phenomenon.
It legit is probably one of the best things that I've watched in a really long time where
Agreed.
I was like, I am stuck to this.
Yeah.
I
It
think
is
that
so
show
good.
is very addictive because I watched it just out of knowing nothing, blank slate. You know what I mean? And just binge watched it. It was a minute, you know what I mean, that I watched something like straight through.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, this cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's very entertaining, very graphic, very brutal.
Yeah.
Very brutal. Yeah, it's,
That's the question I'm trying to ask J Dodge. It's like, what makes this show good? Because
Everything. The
Everything.
drama.
It puts you in there because all of us been broke. Some of us
for
been
real.
broke.
You know, everybody.
Yeah, just like what was
Don't
it,
be
the
flexing
first,
here, man.
Like the first episode when it was like, okay, we don't want to continue dying, so we don't want to do it anymore. But then when they saw
Figure
the
it out.
money, it was like, oh,
Well, maybe we do.
Yeah, right.
maybe we do.
And then the rest, when they went out, they was like, nah, fuck this.
Right.
Look,
and I would have been, and I mean, I would have looked at people like, yo, son, you really voting out.
Right.
But nobody really challenged each
No,
other.
they did, remember? And the dude was about to whoop old girl ass and the other dude's ass, and they came over there. No, we will not let anyone interrupt this diplomacy.
Right.
And that was gangster within itself. It's like, y'all not going to tussle because we will.
You're right.
Right. And they were not playing about that.
At all.
But the first
That whole
game,
red light, green light.
yeah, that was the first game. Red light, green light.
Intense.
And not even I mean, they did tell them, like, he said this.
So
like,
y'all would have kept playing.
No.
No.
You know that
Nah.
one guy, he was shiesty from the beginning. He proposed that, hey, let's not do this, and then pressed it so he could get the numbers down.
Yeah.
Less people want money. He
Which
was
is
on
also
bullshit from the
dangerous.
jump.
So it's a cerebral game as well.
It's a what?
It's a cerebral game as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know that because by the end, when you find out who was responsible for it and who was also playing the game.
Yeah.
I wasn't too surprised because he was too good at all of the games.
Yeah, he been
And he
there.
kept
done that.
getting nostalgic. He was like, when we were
He
little
did.
kids, he
Yeah.
was like, oh, this is you.
Right.
And he was playing dude from jump.
Yeah.
The whole, like, he was sick, but he was playing unaware and confused. That last moment when he was like, oh, you mean to tell me it was okay for you to try to play me at this moment?
Right.
And I was like, oh, you was aware that whole time?
Right. He was aware as hell.
Like, you bogus.
When I initially saw this and like didn't know anything about it, I also assumed that it was not, especially from like the red light, green light, that it wouldn't just end up being one person winning. I thought it would be like whoever survives. And
Yeah.
then
Like,
they got knocked out. I was like, oh no, they're trying to get rid of every
so
fucking
what, they had like
body.
400 people in there?
Yeah.
So only one person can win?
Yeah.
Like the Highlander.
Wait, right, like the Highlander.
Well, they did tell them your debt will be clear one way or the other.
Yeah.
But once you figure out who's playing the game, then you already know. It's like, everyone expendable. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
True.
Like, we don't give a fuck if you win or lose. You know what I mean? Like, we're betting that you lose.
Yeah, basically.
My thing,
Basically.
what would they have done if the old man lost during the tug of war match?
I don't think he would have.
Oh, well, there's a thought that when you go back and watch it, he wasn't chained up.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
hearing that.
He had
didn't have
control.
any locks on his.
So he could have just let go, like, oh shit.
But he chose he did. Everybody thinks they chose him, but he chose who he wanted. He chose the people to work with him to help make sure he would win. He chose the people not because they were stronger, but because they had the heart and because they wanted to win. He chose the right people. He picked that team.
This scene right here for the red light, green light, I seen that the old man wasn't it wasn't
Scanned.
reading. Yeah,
Okay.
it couldn't scan them.
And he wasn't affected when people first got
So
shot.
that's why he was running with a
Yeah.
smile.
Right, he was having a great time.
Yeah.
Man, he was.
Yeah, he was.
My thing is, why
Yeah.
would you run full speed?
Right.
That's
Like
the
he did.
dumbest thing that you could do. Understand that, yeah, there's time, but then when you saw how people started strategizing, oh, if I get behind you,
Yeah.
that's
then you
my
know what I'm saying, I'll
strategy.
get popped off.
I'm sorry.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm
Oh, bro, I'm done.
Yeah, I would have run fast to get to the person, someone to stand in front of me.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
that would have been me. Have been
Right.
like, whoop, stop.
Me being short, I'm looking at everybody tall, like, yeah.
Yup, that's it.
I'm looking for you, and then I'm gonna just bounce from person to person to person.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? If they don't get popped off, though.
that's fucked up.
That's called survival.
Yeah. The glass bridge, I was like, oh,
That's some
no.
bullshit.
The glass
that
bridge was
one.
some bullshit.
That was some
I was
bullshit.
like, wow.
The glass bridge and when they told him to pick a partner.
Yeah. Oh my
pick a
God.
partner
That man
with-
that
Pick a
was his
partner.
wife.
Pick a partner.
The guy
Yeah,
who picked his
wow.
wife, I was like, oh
partner
man,
was-
y'all didn't even know.
That was bogus. Like,
So once again, do we watch for story or do we watch for glory?
for what is it? What was the last part?
Story or glory?
Well, this was a balance of both.
Yeah, it was.
Because if you just give me gore for gore's sake without any story build up,
It
I don't
gets
care.
boring.
Like, I don't want to see
Yeah.
that. I have to have an interest in the people being hurt or threatened. And this set it up where you cared about certain people and you were really worried. Damn, is he gonna
Yeah,
make
you got
it? Is she
attached
gonna
to
make
people.
it? Yeah.
And that's why you have stupid people in horror movies because they build onto the story, and it's also funny to watch them die.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, you watch.
Petty.
Right.
Yeah.
Except in Halloween, everybody dies
Right.
apparently.
That Halloween also was apparently the most kills in any Halloween movie.
Yeah, because he
Yeah, I mean,
actually
he
does
killed
not rack up
everybody.
that much of a body
Was he
count.
really
Yeah, he does.
creepy Michael Myers like he's
At first he was.
At first he was very
Yeah.
In the first one, he was a stalker. He literally be.
Yeah,
that's the one.
Yeah,
he be in the crib.
they maximized his body count as the years went on. Like different
Drink all that
directors,
Kool-Aid.
different directors got him and was like, yo, I want to have him kill 8 people. I want to have him kill 10 people. I want him to kill 20 people.
And the magic is gone because remember in the first one and the second one, it was all about a lot of first-person perspectives of him.
It
watching
was,
his
yeah.
movies.
The minute they took it out of his perspective was the minute it actually started to go downhill.
And we used to see him in almost every scene, like way blurry in the background, or you walk in the house and he just standing there in the corner.
The initial appeal of Michael Myers is that he only killed for effect and to get to his target.
He was going somewhere. And
He
if you
was
just happened
going
to be
somewhere.
in the way.
Right. If you got in his way, then yeah, you were iced out. But he wasn't one of those that's like, I'm about to go over here and kill all these people over here because I can. He
That's
normally
why
has
he
a
went back to
direction.
the same place.
Right.
So back to Squid Game.
Yes.
Can they do a season 2?
They are doing a season 2.
I want a season 2 so bad
Oh my God.
because I think the games are so interesting to me, and I feel like,
And there's more games to do and more people to
they
throw
can-
into the game.
Exactly.
Question
In different
is-
scenarios.
What's up?
Is the cop brother dead?
Yes.
Right.
Well,
I don't
he
think
got
he's
shot
dead.
and fell off the cliff.
He got shot in the shoulder.
Yep.
But he
got
fell
shot
off
in
that
the
Fell off the
shoulder.
cliff. In movies, that's
Yeah.
I come up out the water.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Exactly.
There's no shark-infested oceans. We got you.
Yeah, so exactly. So he got shot. Was it how high up was the cliff? Not.
It was pretty high.
Did a little, it
He
wasn't
did a nice.
He could have hit the water and
floated.
floated to the beach real easy. I get you.
What's interesting, like this movie reminds me of how Hollywood really operates, right? So the dude talked about for 10 years he was pitching this story. He gave up and moved on to other ideas. So this thing was sitting in piles.
Wow.
He went broke trying.
Because of the fact that the pandemic happened and they didn't have content, they didn't have anything to do, they decided to go through their old piles. And then because of the drama and all the murder and all the death and all the poor and the poverty, they said this kind of relates to what's going on right now. Because that's what one of my agent was saying, that I had to have a story that related somehow to the conditions of the
Relative.
world. Yeah, which I wouldn't know. So, but this story just happens to slightly fit into that.
I mean,
So they
but timing
pulled it
is
out.
everything, though. Timing is everything.
You know,
That's
some of these,
crazy.
But this story would have been good at any
But
point.
look, some of these scripts sit for 5 to 10
Yeah, they
years.
do.
scripts it all the
Absolutely.
time. Scripts
Yeah.
it all the time.
You know, so
While they're doing remakes of everything else.
Right.
They
it's the
said
timing,
he's a really nice person. The guy who's an asshole.
Yeah.
In real life, you mean?
Right, in
Yeah.
real life, right. Pictures of this cat.
Because is he the one that did the tweet talking about thanks Saddam a millionaire?
played
Yeah.
that role brilliant.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
He
that
was
was-
on
That
his
chick
shit.
too.
Yeah, she took him out.
Oh, yeah.
She told
was
him.
cold.
She was like, "I will kill you
Yeah.
if you screw me." And he's.
I would have
Like,
disesparted him. I wouldn't have did that. I would have kicked him off. I wouldn't have grabbed him and
There was
jumped.
no
She can't
winning
kick him
that
off.
Yeah, she
challenge,
didn't
though.
care. Right, she probably wouldn't.
There was no
been able-
winning.
Yeah, what was she
No,
gonna
there
do?
wasn't.
He would have died anyway.
Unless she
She's
dropped
gonna
it, like
She was gonna die anyway, so she's like, I'm gonna take you
I'm
with
gonna
me.
make sure
Yeah.
you go down with me.
Right, yeah.
Well, to be fair, why did nobody try to just tightrope that fucking line in between?
Well, why didn't you do it then?
Because I wasn't on the show. I wasn't in it.
Why was you there?
I would have tried it.
I mean, shit.
Like I'm just saying, like nobody, like that guy.
You sit for 2 minutes. You watching this shit for 30 minutes. They sit 2 minutes strong. Like, all right, how we gonna jump this glass, fam?
And it's also interesting why didn't the old dude he was at that point he wasn't there, right? Or was he there?
he wasn't
Oh,
there
dude,
for the
he wasn't
glass.
there.
Yeah,
break.
he wasn't there.
The
But the
last-
other
He
dude,
wasn't gonna make that.
Yeah, he wouldn't have made that. His last
they
game
delivered,
was
so
the
they
Marbles
strategically
game.
got rid of him at the right space.
It's all a game.
Yep, it's all a game.
They're not in
All
control
a
of this.
game.
They were playing he was playing mental games. He knew who would pick him. He befriended him because he knew that guy would choose him.
The tug of war was fucked up too. All of them were fucked up.
Everything was fucked
Yeah,
up. There was no game that wasn't
That was
fucked up.
true.
Yeah.
Damn.
You gotta think about the mind that thought of that.
Exactly.
That's some Sean shit. Some dungeon master type shit.
I do devise traps. This is true.
Yeah, that's real.
This is true.
But they turn to like animalistic like incarcerated behavior.
That Joker,
Yeah.
the Joker philosophy again.
They were getting less food. They were getting less.
Well,
you
the
know,
conditions, they were setting up the conditions where they give them less food every day,
They had
Less
to walk
sleep.
those big stairs.
less sleep.
and-
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what this does remind me of? The Platform.
Yeah, it was
Oh, the
kinda-
platform.
yeah,
Yeah.
That was just brutal.
Yeah. The platform was brutal.
That was also like crazy. It made no sense. And
Especially like you wake up at a lower floor
oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a wrap.
for a month.
And you got to eat whatever's left over and stuff. And
The crazy thing about the platform too, similar to Squid Game, they voluntarily.
yeah, they
did the
volunteered
platform.
without knowing what they were volunteering
Yeah, they just be like, all right,
just
I'll
walk in.
sign up. Like what?
I need details. You can't just come. You just can't say. You can't offer me a cash prize at the end. Like, nah, I need to know every step, Bob.
for. Well, I don't know. I don't know. Desperation. You know, you got people doing crazy things when they hit to the grind. When you hit
Yeah.
rock bottom.
Yeah,
Yeah,
For the
but
love of money.
people be desperate.
yeah, but I still need to know what type of danger I'm putting myself in.
I mean, we black. We're not getting shit for free.
Yeah, we
Right,
ain't,
right,
Yeah,
right.
we ain't going in anyway. It ain't gonna be.
we don't investigate the noise. We don't get on.
And I would not bring my pet in there. That woman brought her
Right,
dog.
her dog. Yeah.
Yeah, because she didn't know what she was doing.
She knows
Nah, I'm
she
not
did
playing the
know,
Squid
she-
Game.
But y'all play the Squid
Oh,
Game.
you talking about the one that had been there?
Yeah, she was the nurse, or she was a part of it.
I couldn't even play the game
I wouldn't have
in the
played
subway where you
Squid
get to slap me because
Right.
like we
Well,
can't
he didn't
even
know
play
he was
that
gonna
game.
really get slapped like that.
Hey, yo, okay, so after the first one, after the first one,
After the first one.
But you
What's
realize
happening here?
that was the point where they explained that all them people that were in there were not just desperate; they were also greedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The reason why they were in debt was because of greed, not
True,
because of
that's
like
true.
you know.
So it's a moral thing.
Yeah, this was about
Yeah.
people, and that's what the dude learned. That was his story arc. That the whole greed and all that was not it.
Is that horror?
No, that's
Thriller.
That's thriller.
That's
Psychological.
thriller
I
drama.
fuck with thriller.
Thriller
So there,
drama
remember we were
action.
talking about this before. There's horror, but there's also scary. This is scary,
Yeah, I mean,
it's
it's
scary.
definitely a scary ass concept.
but it's not like horror.
Perfect example would be like the Resident Evil video games. They were horror because you ain't have shit to kill nothing. Then around Resident Evil 4, everybody's
action
special
packed.
forces.
It became an action. It became an action game.
Yeah.
And so they
Became
had to
an action
make
game.
it
Became an
around
action
the
horror.
And then
before your body.
when they started introducing the virtual reality situations with these games, it got super real.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Evan.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a video of me like swatting at this person because I was right there and it's like, okay, dude's trying to take me out the chains. He's not moving fast enough. This chick pops up, stabs him, and I'm like, no. It just put a whole different spin on it.
Yeah.
Like I played Resident Evil 7 on VR. I had to play with one earbud out because it's too immersive.
It's too immersive.
Yeah. I tried the Resident Evil 7 VR. I was like, no.
It's
I
it's
took the
too
helmet.
much.
I took the helmet off. I'm like, nah.
I'm at the end of 8 right now. 8's legit.
Yeah, because I was
Yeah.
like,
Why? It's scary?
and you know how you
the
feel.
lichens.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's scary as fuck.
You know how you feel people in the room around, like when you like we sit
yeah,
right here, like how
yeah,
you
you
so
can
like
feel
let's like you right there. I put the VR helmet on. I'm doing the Resident Evil stuff, but I know you right here. But you get so into it, I start to think like, you know what I'm saying? Like oh wait, no, it's people around me. Like I gotta pull it off. Like nah, fuck that.
There's another VR game. It's actually not a horror game, but it's a rhythm game. It's called Thumper, and
I've seen people play Thumper. Yeah.
and it's like you're just like this silver bullet in space, and you're trying to like go left or right to the beat, and at the end of each level is like I can't even describe it. Like
yeah, I've seen people play Thumper.
the first level boss is like this warped face, and you get closer and closer. You're going through his mouth, and it's
yeah, it gets trippy.
and it's
It
like all
gets mad
these
trippy.
these black tentacles, and they're like coming in
wow.
on you. It's very alien. Yeah.
I think, like, with horror, I think one of the gauges that I have always used would be, would this circumstance be terrifying in real life?
Yeah, look at that.
That's what I think.
That's fair.
That's how I gauge horror a lot of the time. Would this be scary in real life? Like she said earlier, if Michael was standing at the door, that shit would be terrifying.
Like,
Hey, if all y'all turn to dumb motherfuckers, I'll be so disappointed before I die.
Like this is the stuff that would elicit the brown note.
Yeah,
I
oh
think I'd take
wow.
Michael Myers if he walked in here.
I think we could all take ourselves out of the way.
Yeah, I'm not.
I mean, we could. See, the thing is
I'm clumsy.
you can't take him. It's been proven Michael Myers can't be taken.
We gotta save the women.
Then we have to look around the room like, what are we really going to swing at, buddy?
True.
You got records.
You gotta look at your.
How many? I mean, yeah, we got a bunch
I'd
of
be
records,
like,
but they just
It's
not
one
like
man
popping
versus
up.
all of us.
Well, we'll see.
Right.
Once we find out what he is.
Power and numbers.
Well-
we got time to figure this
No, I'm
out.
talking about movie-wise, because right now I'm not convinced anybody can take him.
No, we can't take them.
I'm not convinced that.
Even
Well, as I
get to their car, he gonna show up in the rearview mirror.
Yep.
Oh, he can show up in my rearview mirror. I'm gone.
I didn't fuck with that shit.
I think my man over here would get got first because he has to run around.
that's the line of
to get
sight,
to the
right?
window.
Damn.
Now,
son.
Rocket coming this way. Rocket coming this way. He coming this way.
I'm like, throw the monitor.
He knows all
He's touching something.
Hey, save the show, son. Save the show.
Since we talking about horror and scary and the differences, right? So, Silence of the Lambs.
Right.
What was that?
That's a
That was-
thriller.
That's a thriller.
But it was scary, right?
Yeah, but Buffalo Bill could exist.
Yeah. He
Buffalo
could've
Bill
exist.
could exist.
Hannibal.
And Hannibal
Yeah.
Lecter could exist.
So now,
yeah.
Probably
put things like Stat 7, Silence of the Lambs. Think about this new Batman. Because that's really what they're saying it is.
But they're using his horror aspects, though.
Right, that's what I'm saying. They're pulling in these
the
thrillers.
villains are the victims. So they're using the fear, because look at the Batman signal. Excuse me. The bat signal is all rusted and fucked up. It's not perfect. And then said in the caption, this is not a sign to show y'all that this
It's a warning.
Yeah,
I
it's
can't
a
hear
warning.
you.
But that's what it's what it's supposed to be.
Yo, is my mic on?
Yeah, you weren't talking directly into it.
I'm sorry. But yo, I'm saying they was using fear, and they using this new thing as like I said, Batman been clean cut for a very long time. No disrespect to Ben Affleck, but this nigga got grime and dirt all on him. He using the underground as his lair. Like, dude, he's on some dark shit, and they using that. They flipping it. Like
It's a thriller.
It's a thriller.
It's a
Yeah.
thriller. It's a crime
And
thriller.
they using the fear as an aspect
Yeah.
in the problematic psyche that
From
he's
both
in.
sides.
What would you put a movie like Deliverance?
Deliverance is horror.
Why?
But that could really happen.
I think that's a psychological
That really
thriller.
happened.
Yeah.
I think it's a more of a
it's horror.
psychological
So
thriller.
you say horror.
Yeah.
I say psychological thriller for Deliverance. Cause
I don't. Yeah, that one.
I just like thriller, man. I say thriller.
It's scary. It's definitely scary,
Right.
and it is cerebral.
Yeah.
And depending on how you look at that, it can get you into a horror. It depends on what you're scared of.
yeah, I
it
think
depends on what
I
you're
think
scared of.
horror is a subjective thing because what
Agreed.
horrifies you may not horrify me.
True.
Well, what about Saw?
Saw is just
Oh, it's
gore.
horror.
It's just gore.
Yeah.
It's torture porn. It falls.
Yeah.
It falls. Not the
Yeah.
first one.
The first one.
The first one I would
consider
call
gore-
psychological
I don't
thriller. For
consider
me,
gore
I felt it
horror.
was psychological.
Because some people are not affected by that. Some people look at gore and be like, eh.
Because like Hostel was torture porn.
Yeah,
That was violence for the sake of violence.
I agree.
Yeah, there's no point
Like
to that.
Human Centipede and all.
Yeah, human
Yeah,
centipede,
that's
violence for the sake
That's
of
just weird
violence.
stuff.
It is, yeah, and I hate Human Centipede.
That shit is,
I'm
and
saying-
Walrus or Tusk or whatever
Yeah,
that movie
Tusk
is.
is
That
also
shit's just
wild.
weird stuff.
I do have
The
a
Fly.
question. What is the last thing that you watched that scared you? For everybody,
That scared me. Damn.
like genuinely scared you.
I would say
Okay.
Microphone.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, we all just quiet.
Yeah, we all doing
Allow me to
this.
try it again. The Conjuring, something in Atlanta, where this couple gets this house and they find out about that it was part of the Underground Railroad. It was just different parts of it that was creepy as hell, and I actually screamed.
Okay, so atmospheric
Yeah.
was scary.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
okay.
did you scream like, oh?
Now I was like, shit.
Hell
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the one
Which
before that
decibels
was
was?
what's the old girl that captured the dude that was a book writer? and she.
Oh, Misery.
Yes.
Misery.
Yeah,
Misery was creepy as
Yeah,
fuck,
Misery's
bro.
fucked up.
Yeah, mine is The Void.
The Void, okay.
The
Yeah, I was
Void
gonna-
fucked me up.
yeah,
The Void was because it's just like that type of stuff scares me.
Yeah.
Like when you start going into that uncertainty of what the fuck is really going
Like
on.
Limbo.
Yeah, that stuff.
The Void was probably the last one that actually sent a real chill.
Like I had me thinking twice when I was walking around in the dark type of shit.
What year did that come out?
2017,
16?
Did
yeah.
I find it on Netflix?
Yeah, it's
It's
I
on.
don't
It
have
was
to-
on. It was on Shutter.
Yeah,
It was
it's
just
on
recently
Amazon.
Shudder, but it's definitely on Amazon.
It's somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, I dug The Void, but I love Lovecraftian horror. So like The Void is my wheelhouse. Like I love that type of horror where
Hopelessness.
maybe you never see the monster until the very end, or
And even then, you're like, am I looking at it or not?
yeah, and it's you question of what you've seen or not, because that's how like 80% of Lovecraft was like if you read the original short story that became From Beyond, it's a conversation between two people.
Yeah.
Right.
And he's sitting there telling that guy, he was like, "Oh, you didn't believe my science," and the whole time he's sitting there, they were just talking. All the other shit is happening around them, and he's having a conversation. He's like, "No, don't move, because if you move, they'll see you." You know what I'm saying? He's telling him, and the guy doesn't even know what he's talking. He's like, "What are you talking about?" They'll see me, because like he sees everything, the other guy sees nothing.
Right.
Yeah, he's still in normal state. The other dude is in a heightened
Yeah,
state.
the other, if he was in a heightened state, he was like, "If you move, they'll see you." You know, and then at the end of it, the guy picks up like, "Oh, this is all fucked."
Like, yeah.
And then it ends. Like, and then it's like, I like stuff like that where there is no real resolution, or madness is the resolution. Like you've seen something and you just like In the Mouth of Madness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
In the Mouth of Madness.
Wow.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
about you, Kaz?
I don't know.
You know,
Nothing scares
Nothing
this guy.
scares him because he's the shooter.
I mean, it doesn't have to be immediate. It like literally.
It coulda scared you in 1986.
Exactly.
Well, The
Literally last thing
Exorcist,
you
The
watched
Exorcist scares me.
I love that.
Still scares you?
If I watch
The Exorcist is still scary.
It is
if I
scary.
watch the original movie,
Yeah.
nah, I gotta watch that in daytime.
Poltergeist still scares me.
Poltergeist is
That was
scary.
cool. That was cool. The
Just because-
Shining. I don't think The Shining was scary, but I just love that movie.
Yeah, I love it.
That's one of my.
I felt The Shining was creepy.
Yeah, The Shining was.
The Shining
It's just creepy.
And sometimes creepy works better
It does.
than like actual gore and horror to me. Sometimes I prefer the creep. It's
Atmosphere.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like Descent.
Yeah.
The Descent, yeah, the Descent
That
was
fucked with me.
wild as fuck.
Insidious messed with me.
The first Insidious is really good.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
first Insidious is really good.
Oh, that Fire in the Sky fucked with me too.
Oh, Fire in the Sky used to fuck me up because I
Fire
used to
in the
have a
Sky.
thing about aliens that I couldn't watch The Outer Limits when I
Yeah.
was
Hey,
little.
what was that recent kind of like mockumentary, The Fourth Kind? That was deep.
That was with the owl.
yeah, that
owls?
was
Yeah, I was done. I was done.
Aliens
What
and
is
all that
this?
shit is scary.
That's the Hollow.
That's the void.
That's the void. I mean,
Yeah,
the void.
Yeah, that's the
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna
void.
look this up.
That's the one that I was.
Yeah,
talking
that's the
about.
void. The void goes hard. The void takes you all the way to that Lovecraft thing and then snaps
It's
back.
absolutely insane.
It's so insane. Yeah.
I got one for y'all. I got one.
Okay.
I got hype. The Mist.
Yeah.
The Mist.
Yeah.
That was
Yes.
The Mist is fantastic.
Yeah, because you watch that and you sitting there like, what?
Yeah.
The fuck?
Damn.
That's another Lovecraft based
Yeah.
on a Lovecraft story. The Mist. Yeah. Like that's
Which
another
is
one.
not to be confused with the Fog.
Nah,
Right,
The Mist.
totally,
Yeah, the Mist was dope.
It's great.
The Mist was
The
dope.
ending messed me up too.
Oh,
What y'all think of the TV series?
the TV series is man.
It didn't go there. It didn't
It
go
was
there
a
like the
Netflix
movie.
series. The movie went there, but how messed up was it where you was in that car, you done helped all these people, killed your shorty, and you see old girl who went out earlier said, I gotta
Yep,
find my
I'm going to
kids.
Find my kids.
Go by on the transport with her kids.
Yep. Yeah.
And you done smoked your son. You sitting up there like,
But you know where they fucked
The
up,
old
right?
couple.
They all fucked up because they started exploring the buildings next door and going and all this stuff instead of walking just out there.
Right.
Once again, Doing dumb shit.
Yeah, you don't know, but it makes sense.
That
when you think
in that situation, that was a lot of unknowns. Like I probably would just
was a lot of unknowns.
I would just sat still in the like if I was trapped in the grocery
I'm
store.
not killing my son.
Yeah, I'm not killing my son. I'm not leaving either though. Like I don't know. It's like,
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have joined. Like for me, I would have made the mistake of killing the religious chick early on, and then everyone
that
else
was not a
hate me.
mistake.
Right.
First of all, that was the scariest part about that.
That was the scariest
And
part about it. But
that's
see,
what's
I would have been. I think I would have jumped the gun, kind of like, nah, we got to X her out when people
I
wouldn't
would
have
have
been
just
with me.
tied her up, duct taped her mouth, and put her in the corner. You stay right there. Then I would have put a bunch of rice bags on top of her.
Yeah, she did.
Don't you
good.
move.
Yeah, she was
Right? Hey,
awful.
stop! Shut up! Don't you say shit!
Yeah, because once she started turning people and winning people, I was like, look,
And she
the
got a bunch of
fanaticism
people.
right now is not what we need.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
scary.
was actually that was the scary part.
That
Her
was the most
turning those
scary
people
part.
on
It's
the
realistic.
inside.
Yeah, that was
people
very
are scarier
realistic.
than
Yeah,
monsters.
people
Yeah.
are scary. In Walking Dead, it's not the zombies, it's the people
It's
that
the people.
They're the
It's
Walking
problem.
Dead.
Yeah, it's
They're
the
the
problem.
ones
I
that
mean,
walk
you play The
the
Last of Us.
Yeah,
Right.
last of
Yeah.
us.
I was like, I need some zombies.
Speaking of that, aren't they doing a series on that?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I still
They
haven't
already
played part
casted
2,
and
Ash.
everything.
I've heard they don't
I
need to
still
play
haven't
it.
played part 2, Ash.
I thought you did.
I'm never playing part 2. Part 2 does not exist.
Part 2 doesn't
I've heard
move
people
fast.
say that, yeah.
It doesn't move as fast.
It
as
doesn't?
the first one, yeah. I'm halfway through it.
No, they
Like,
took people out of their character in part 2.
Yeah.
Like there are
Yeah.
things that Joel would have never done
Yes.
in part
Right.
1. Like
Right.
he was not trusting of people. In part
Yes.
2, he joined these people in their basement, told them where they were staying, told
Like
them
different writers, huh?
totally different writers. It was all about check boxes. For this
What
thing.
about that Hideo Kojima game?
Death
Death Stranding, yeah.
I haven't played. I got it for Christmas.
Yeah,
That's the one with Daryl from Walking
yeah,
Dead.
I tried to play it.
Babies and shit.
Yeah,
I tried to play it. It's a very weird story.
Yeah.
it's something about the rain makes people older. That's all I know.
Yeah, the rain makes you old, but there's also this thing of like, it's a question. I didn't finish it, but there's a question of are they alive or are they in limbo?
All right, stop, because I gotta play.
All right, and that's actually a great stopping point as we get ready to switch gears. We're gonna let J Dot do his thing and get loose, take a quick
J-Dot
break.
and
Get
Frank.
lost in limbo.
Jay on the
Be back.
ones, Frank on the
Let's not
twos.
get lost in limbo. Fly Nerd Group. Coming right back.
Me I and I love stand up and see uptown, downtown, I rock to the beat. Jeremy and I try about him already. He better make stumpy, teaching me step all way and wonder stiff like piece of wood. Never idiot I can do more. New ear, new style, new dance a lick. Then your hand in the ear, then you rock, then you dip. Move to the drum and make it on the tip. Step forward and come up back. I just a new style where the whole place I do. Rap over dance, come music sweet.
Baby, let me see you move that jello. Ooh, so soft that jello. So I wanna bite that jello, bounce that jello, bounce it. Wiggle you outfit. Come climb that mountain. Look around at all this jello. What they put in that jello? No, that's not pudding, that's jello. You can't tell the difference from jello? Hello, jello. Look how we wiggle. Come on, be nice and give me a little. Alright, let me smack that jello. I not rough, I tap that jello. I lie, I attack that jello. Back that jello. There's nothing sweeter than jello. Mira, por favor, dame jello. The way you bend over, look over your shoulder, and jello get closer. Makes me cobra say hola. Jello, jello, no snack like jello. Chupandi get swallowed by jello. I lost, I just follow the jello.
Shimmy, shimmy, cocoa pop. Yeah, shimmy, shimmy, cocoa pop. Shimmy, shimmy, cocoa pop.
Shimmy, shimmy, cocoa pop.
We chocolate crossover. Yeah, we chocolate crossover. See me, cocoa, might go cocoa, and I might go pop. Now it's about time that I clear this. So pardon me, miss, but I'd like for you to hear this. If you kiss me, then I'll kiss you back. You see, I feel real good inside, and it's just from your nearness. There's no need for you to fear this. Kiss me, I'll kiss you back.
Well, you look kinda cute to me. I think we can achieve this. Plus you act like you need this. Kiss me and I'll kiss you back. You act real fly. Money B's not buying it. Quit denying it, you're better off trying it. Freak me, girl, and I'll freak you back.
Through any kind of weather, we'll be and you forever stay together. Well, I just don't know, but I tell you what though, if you kiss me, then I'll kiss you back. Face you fear, makes you feel better. Twist and turn, you live, you learn, and nothing lasts forever. But I got a good feeling. On cloud nine, I get a good feeling. We living on bar time, still got a good feeling. Yeah. Time the essence, bruh. Time to find the best in ya. Time to find what's next to come. Try to be the best of none. Chasing time, expect to run. Racing time, the race is won by the hands on the clock already. So I cherish moments that I got already. A better me, better you. It's your choice, you better choose. Too fast, you better cruise before you see it end too soon. Yeah. As the maze get longer, time won't wait and the days get shorter. You can find your fate, face this moment of time it takes. I hope time will wait for your life. Yeah. Face your fear, makes you feel better. Twist and turn, you live, you learn, and nothing lasts forever. But I got a good feeling. On cloud nine, I get a good feeling.
Make it easy, good guy. Make it easy, good guy. Make it easier now. Get out. Man and woman get down. Good guy, make it easy. Good guy, make it easier now. Get out. Man and woman get down. Man and woman be patrolling the earth, putting shit in the game. Citizens of the world, we running now. Precious time is a grain of sand. Ignored by the hand. Work hard, man, every day for another man's plan. Man orders woman when he come home. Get your ass in the air. My woman wants her just as much as woman wants her just as much as he does. But makes him think she don't care. Man and woman in the same where I'm from. We having things on the mind. Minimum wage and an internet page. Protect themselves from crime. The bluest collar on the brownest of skin. White, yellow, red too. They don't care who it is. They watching you. Conspiracy, so you might as well dance. Getting down Zulu. Man, woman, yo, you might as well dance. Getting down Zulu, come on, come on.
Getting down is something between one man and man. 1 minute we're so far apart and then together we stand. Getting down is something between one man and man. 1 minute we're so far apart and then together we stand.
Die for this shit, nigga. Might go down for this shit, nigga. Gang, gang, bangin' that grip shit. Niggas said cuz in the first grade. In the shade where the cops can't see us. 18 trying to dodge the cage. It was cool till that game sweet. Now I'm in back of a van and my wrist got a band. Got a number for a name. No name on a visit, no call. Get accepted, now I'm forced to a man. Move the racks where you from, put the nigga on his pockets. Watch the CEOs, they be watching. Counting news for the hustle. Counting spread for the muscle. Couple marks on my knuckles. Putting niggas on bunk status. Should've been with a bitch ass. Now you on the match that we bench press. PC with the Fruit Loops. Keep telling on niggas why I fuck with that nigga. Nigga make bail, but I'm still at rage. Should I thank God for the hell I raised? Cause a nigga that snitch gon' fill that grave. Like, ain't nothing to a low, huh? Witness to his folks, I ain't here and I ain't know, huh? He ain't show up to the go, huh? But the truck's gotta go, huh? A young nigga back.
to Kenya, taking with Uganda, remember Rwanda, I see Tanzania, from Bertie to Ghana, take care of Somalia, free Sudan, traffic than water, won't you free Bobby Wine, Senegal, Madagascar, I need you Angola, I see Tanzania, my people in Congo, I wanna free Sudan. Dance with Nigeria, from Egypt to Libya.
To pick up where I left off. The biggest phenomenon, and I'm Picasso with the pen. Niggas always talk shit until I hit him with the realness. Figured I should say something, but you don't wanna hear me vent. You could talk bad all day long, I will never be impressed. Don't know what I did to make you feel that you be earning my respect. You do not scare me, no, you are not a threat. Anyone I want it, they can get it in a flash, no sweat.
How y'all feeling?
If you're gonna talk on my name, be said with your chest.
Like $1 million, fam.
Word up.
Like $1.5 million.
Don't get touchy, don't be getting
$1.5 million before taxes or after?
After. It's gotta be after taxes, man. $1.5 million after taxes.
Oh, I didn't know that guy made whatever that clip was. I follow that artist on Instagram.
Oh, that word. Okay.
Hey yo. I don't know.
I think 3 million comes out to 1.8 after taxes. That's a number that I've always been good with. If I was like, that's my first goal.
3 million?
Yeah, 3 million is the first, because after taxes is 1.8.
Okay.
Because I gotta have more than $1 million to start with.
For the 3 million.
Yeah. A lot of people say they want a first million, and that's not enough, because that's still close. That's just 6 figures.
They say making the first million is the hardest.
Yeah, for a couple of reasons. Obviously, if you got the money, then you putting that in investments and you using that to make more money. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I did want to say
What's
the
up?
last thing that I saw that scared me.
What was that? What was that?
It's this movie called Terrified that's on Shudder. It's like a Venezuelan horror movie.
Okay.
It was actually really good. It's about like these 3 houses on this block that are all haunted by different.
I watched that. Yeah, yeah.
That ending when that thing ran up on him in the car when he was sitting in the car, I was like, oh, what
Yeah,
the
I think we briefly.
Wait a minute, that's the one.
Yeah, we briefly spoke on that earlier, where the experts show up and they all get murked.
Yeah, they all get murked.
The dude was inside of the. He got stuffed in the dresser on the wall or something.
Right, it got stuffed in the wall.
And then the first person died in the shower.
Yeah, and it
And-
was banging her.
Yeah,
back,
just like straight murking her.
Yeah, when I first saw it, I was like kind of distracted, but then I was like, no, let me actually pay attention because this is kind of fucking crazy.
It was.
And the little dead boy.
Yeah, it was on
it's
Shudder.
Yeah, that was on Shudder. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That chick got it the worst.
Yeah,
the
she
old
did.
lady.
Yeah, and it was real eerie because I usually don't get scared by really too much anything, and definitely not like ghost stories. But it was really good.
The stuff came out of nowhere.
Right,
You
it
just
came
didn't
out of
expect
nowhere.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere.
Because you think it's going one direction,
and it
just hard left.
Yep, it goes because when
Brick wall.
The experts, it's like you think like, oh, okay, they're gonna come.
They gonna come in and explain it
No.
away. They gonna exercise something. Nah.
The tall ghosts, they were all really freaking creepy.
Yeah.
Well, I think it goes without saying that we are back.
Yeah.
I think so. Hey, will we ever get a good Slender Man?
I don't know.
That's a good question.
So Moxie,
Yes.
what does it take to scare you?
You know, slashers don't scare me at all. Gore isn't scary. It probably like atmospheric things. Like if I watch a scenario and I feel like a lot of stuff in real life is scary, to be honest.
Right.
So I feel like if it's a scenario where it's like this could possibly happen, like The Mist or something, something like that.
Have you seen Incident at Ghostland?
No.
What's that?
It's one of the worst. I mean, and when I say worst, I don't mean in terms of bad movies. One of the worst home invasion films
Home
I've
invasion can be fucked up
I've
too.
ever watched. Like these this trans person and their very disfigured large hillbilly child break into this family's house.
Why?
Wow.
Off the description alone, like,
Horror make me laugh
interesting.
sometimes, man. It's like-
Yeah. And they get in there and they kill this woman. They kill these girls' mother and they hold the girls hostage. And this one girl like goes to her happy place. And so for a while you think it's over.
Oh,
and then
wow.
you get like drugged right back into it when you find out that she's never left the house.
Wow.
And that her whole like scenario was was like this whole time being tortured. And she'd been in the house the whole time. It was.
Oh shit.
And it seemed like something that could happen. It was way far away in the middle of nowhere. They just went up in these people's house, took over, like was living in their house, dressed the girls up like dolls and tortured them.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Yeah, it was rough. Like all this stuff, like her toasting beers with her mother, is her happy place.
Oh wow.
Like you think she like
wasn't real?
Huh? Yeah, the act, the not the toasting beers with her mother part, but being in that house with her sister. Yeah, all that's related. The home invasion happened. Mother is dead, and so she went to her happy place to like deny it.
Wow.
And showed the whole time she been in the house.
I look like Kane picking her
That's
up.
crazy. I guess stuff like that, if I feel uneasy watching it and I'm like, oh, I kind of don't know what's gonna happen. Like I feel like if it's unpredictable and eerie, like has that kind of atmosphere thing, I don't like. With monster stuff, I don't like to see the monster too often because that can kill the.
Yeah, once the mystique of the monster is gone, with the exception of Tomorrow War. Like I like the fact that we saw that monster up front. And he was kind of scary.
Okay, yeah, hold off on that because that's on my list.
Yeah, that's
on
a
your
worth
list?
watching.
Yeah.
Hey, did y'all like Invisible Man?
I have to watch
The new one
I didn't like
Which
it.
one?
with the super stalker.
The Invisible Man, the new one. I didn't like it.
Oh, you
like
didn't like it? I liked it.
I didn't
I
like
didn't
it.
think it was scary, but I enjoyed it.
I thought it was messed up what happened to her sister.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
At dinner.
Yeah, that was really
I was like,
messed
word,
up.
like we gonna do this in public?
Right.
Okay.
And then put the knife in her hand. I was like, oh wow.
Yeah,
I
that
don't
was
think
wild.
it was
Piece
good.
of shit.
I went back to watch Hollow Man. That was fun.
Hollow Man's dope.
Yeah.
But the Invisible Man I didn't like because
I just throwback.
the Invisible Man I didn't like because for one, I don't know. I wanted more science to the whole thing.
To the suit, to the reflector.
To the suit.
Yeah. And then 2, I don't know. It was cool, but it didn't really go there.
I would have preferred.
Like, I prefer the Michael Myers. Like, if you're gonna give me some Invisible Man, there's 10,000 fucking creepy things you could do with that power, with that skill set or whatever.
And he chose to stalk somebody.
Well, yeah, reducing it
come
to
on
just
now.
a simple stalker, like I'm just a bad boyfriend type of thing.
Yeah.
If you break
The
up with me, I'm gonna get
boyfriend
revenge.
angle? Nah, he should have just broke away.
They could have
from
actually
that.
used the plot from the original Invisible Man. It was an accident.
Right.
And from the accident, he goes crazy because being invisible is mentally altering. If you stuck invisible, that's mentally shattering.
Yeah, where no one will ever be able to see
Like
you.
where your perception of
You
reality.
can't see you.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
your perception of reality is askew. So I think had they stuck to
Close
the
your eyes.
right, had they stuck to the original kind of trope. I mean, I know the movie came out 1930, 40, whatever, but that was the whole thing was an accident turns him invisible and he
would've
goes
died.
nuts.
He probably would have got hit by a car or some shit.
Screw robbing the bank. I'm gonna
Yeah.
talk back his girlfriend.
I was sneaking to Rihanna's house
Just hang out with her.
or Janet Jackson.
Yes.
See, that's what I'm talking about, right? Shit like that. Oh, I'll go just Janet Jackson house and chill. That's
Wow.
fucked up. It's fucked up, man.
Or like Keanu Reeves.
You're the Invisible Man.
Wow.
You could do cool shit too. I'll go to this movie set and shit.
Yeah.
This dude had a
I know what's
technology.
gonna happen in Thor. Y'all don't.
There's a million things
Pay
this
me
dude
$1 million.
coulda did. You're right. He did nothing. Was he even selling that technology? What was he even
And see,
doing?
that's that exactly
No, he
set in the
wasn't.
modern time. If someone creates something like that, they're trying to get a fat government paycheck.
Not get back at their girlfriend.
Right? They're not trying to stalk down their girlfriend and play dead for like X amount of years. It was
Yeah, what was the point of all of
He
that?
made one for his crazy ass brother. That was like covering for him. I was like, what? I mean, and I enjoyed the movie, but still, the brother was dumb to me because I'm like, why are you continuing to do this with him? Like,
Yeah, none of it made sense.
yeah.
And see, Hollow Man made sense because it was all about Sebastian's ego, and he wanted to be the one who brought the research out, and not,
Yeah.
the government.
And
The
he
worst-
took it a different way. It was, it was dope.
And that was actually scary because he kept like.
And I think it drove him crazy a little bit. Like you
What?
said, the whole psyche of the
the site. Yeah, altering yourself like that has psychological repercussions. You cannot just all of a sudden become an AI and think and be all right with it.
I mean, like in Hollow Man, he couldn't technically close his eyes.
Yeah, exactly.
Because when he woke up, he was like, the light.
Right. Exactly. There's psychological implications to altering yourself like that, and to me, Invisible Man had it as an option. It was like, hey, being invisible is optional. You put on the suit, you're invisible. I think it should have been he put on the suit and something happened.
What up,
and
Mos?
And it became his permanent state.
But the man, like Sebastian, wigged out because he actually raped a woman.
Yeah.
He took it all the way.
Sebastian really wigged out.
Dark. That's what I mean.
That was super.
So y'all know
super
that
dark.
was the third attempt at the monster universe.
Oh, the
So-
Universal monster, because
Yeah, the
Dracula Untold.
Dracula Untold was the first one.
That's-
Dracula Unbound or Untold?
Or Unbound, whatever it was.
Whatever it was. Then the Tom Cruise mummy was the
stupid
second
ass
attempt.
mummy movie.
And then Invisible was also an attempt. And now they're rebooting it again.
I like the first mummy.
Invisible Man was a part of that.
It was supposed to be. So no, so when the first Dracula didn't do as well as they thought it would in theaters, they said we're gonna reboot it again. So they tried to do it instead with this top tier actor Tom Cruise, and they put him in the Mummy movie. And if you remember, there was Russell Crowe was in that, and he was supposed to be Dr. Jekyll. So they were planning it. Then that didn't do so well. That flopped. So they said, well, we're gonna try a little different way, a little more practical. They did Invisible Man. Then that didn't really work.
The Dracula Unbound was actually decent.
That's the one that worked.
That was decent.
That was a good
That was
story.
a great origin. That was a great Dracula origin story.
But it just didn't do well in theaters. So now they're revamping again, and they're going to try to do this monster universe again.
Again?
Yeah.
Because it's like Wolfman.
Yeah, the
Mummy,
Wolfman, Frankenstein, all that.
Yeah, Universal had. I mean, the Universal monsters that they own those properties, so
and ain't done nothing with them.
They really haven't done a whole lot with them in a while.
They're not good at doing anything with them.
Clearly. Clearly.
Brendan Fraser mummy holds a good place in my heart, and I love that mummy. Yeah.
It is kind of telling that you've held on to these horror icons this long, and you still really only made the biggest amount of money off them in their heyday. Like that people still refer to Bela Lugosi, Lon Chaney, Boris Karloff.
There's a reason for that, though.
Those are the guys. They're the champs.
Right.
The only
champs.
There's been 2 Frankenstein movies that have come out. The one with Robert De Niro.
I didn't see that.
That was
I didn't even know that.
There's also the one with the guy who played Harvey Dent in Dark Knight.
That's Unbound. That's when he was fighting with the gargoyles against demons.
I don't like Frankenstein.
Max had
man.
brought up
I like the
Fly.
monsters.
They could do a Fly remake maybe.
They really could do a Fly remake, and really today a Fly remake. Oh my goodness!
If they did it the David Cronenberg way, if they do it the David Cronenberg
like the original,
they gotta do it how they did Splice.
Yeah.
I did not like Splice.
Splice
I thought
was
it
weird.
really fucking creepy.
Splice was funny as fuck. Like when they killed each other out that blood hit the audience.
Yes.
Yo, when she raped him, I was done.
Yes.
Oh my god! And then the wings.
Who? What?
Right.
Yeah, you saw Splice, didn't you?
Spice
he,
fucked up.
he raises
Really?
her.
Splice is
it's kind
crazy.
of like Species, but it's not. He like raises this creature like his daughter, and then she becomes mature like in a couple of weeks or some shit. She's kind of like a science experiment. He leaves his wife he cheats on his wife with the creature who he raised as his child. And
A weird looking creature too.
she like grows
Is it human-like?
wings.
Humanoid,
She's
yes.
humanoid-like, and she grows wings and like
And becomes a predator.
kidnaps him, and then she can grow a
She look like
penis,
Frieza,
and she
fam.
rapes
Then she
him.
morphed. Yeah.
And yeah, she
like
morphs.
Frieza.
It's like what is happening? Like halfway through the movie, you're legit like, what is going on? Yeah, it's
Wow.
that all of that really happened.
Yeah, he got it up on the screen right here.
Yeah.
With Adrian the Nose Brody.
All of that really happened. It like you watch it for about an hour, and then at that point, then it starts getting weird because he like dances with her and they like make out. It's like what?
He was getting lost in her eyes.
Yeah, it's really fucking weird.
And then they try to drown her.
Yeah.
And she grew gills.
Gills, yeah, right, because she
she can evolve. She can adapt to
everything.
threats.
I got into an argument with someone on Facebook that used images from Splice to say that they were doing human and animal like
Oh
gene
my
splicing.
goodness.
I was like, this is from a movie called Splice.
Yes.
Here's the timestamp.
Yeah, right? Bogus. Bogus.
All right, I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah, it's very weird.
It is.
Now, I would say that movie got scary when they went to the woods and she switched genders and she became a male.
Oh, that shit was hilarious.
Yeah.
It was funny. No, when she killed Adrian Brody when she stabbed him with the tail.
Yeah.
And then he looked like me. Like,
Like, what you doing? I thought I was the one.
Like, right, I thought I was special. You're not
No.
special. You're not special at all.
All right, well, let's move on to another special. Goddamn.
Right. So Wu-Tang has been getting better and better. I'm glad that for season 2 I took the ride.
Yeah, I'm glad you did too.
I'm glad I took the
you did
ride for
too,
season
man.
2 because season 1 did not grab me.
Season 1 was
out.
entertaining, but season 2 is where it hit.
Season 2 is where, just hit the mark. Like I said, I'm more interested in their music career rather than their street life. You know what I mean? So right here, they have to perform the song, they get the big deal.
I think it's the first show, right?
Yeah, it's the first show
show.
at the Fever. So got to throw this show together to impress some of the radio execs at Def Jam, and they do the damn thing.
Yeah, it's just this felt like more of a bridge episode, especially with I don't want to spoil too much for those who may not haven't watched it. Right. For some of the stuff at the end, it definitely felt like a bridge episode, but the first performance is important.
First performance, all artists here on deck, do you remember your first performance?
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's go. Because I don't.
Because he's done too many. He's been around the world doing it.
Let me see if I can remember the first. I do. All right, so there's stages, right? Yeah, I do remember our first show because we rocked from the Atmosphere. The first show in Chicago.
Word.
We had a live band, so I do remember our first show.
See?
He really does look like ODB.
Well, that's his son. So
I mean,
yeah.
Right, I remember you all saying
Yeah,
that.
that's
It's
just
like
Young dirty bastard.
And he really acts like him, like in real life. Like he really emulated his dad before. Like he was managed by or co-managed by this sister from LA named Jory, who's actually from Chicago.
Oh wow.
And when he first came out and he was doing the young DB thing before he got his own sound, but he was doing songs that sounded like his dad Young.
Wow.
Like he was doing the whole flow. The
like
whole
Ice Cube's son.
But that
They're
is
like
that is
twins.
a certain style that if someone's going to mimic, I would say his son will have to mimic. Because not too many people could rap like.
That's not even. Yeah, that's a hard style.
That's a hard style to do.
Yeah.
It's wild.
It is. It's all over the place.
Really wild. Yeah.
It goes from being, he can be precise at times, he can be gospel at times, soul at times. Like he just flips it. It's all in the same.
Peace, peace, peace.
Peace, Mose.
Peace to Mose.
Yeah.
Peace to IMG.
But yeah, the show has definitely on an upward trend for me.
I fuck with it.
I got to catch up on these last two.
Yeah, I need to watch it too. I got caught up in watching the new season of You, so.
Oh, okay.
What's that?
That looks crazy.
What's that?
It is this crazy ass show on Netflix about from the perspective of like a stalker. So he's like Dexter, but if Dexter believed in like falling in love. He's kind of like that, if that makes sense. Like he stalks people that he falls in love with, but then like becomes obsessed with them. Yep. And he ends up meeting a girl in the second season who is kind of like him. And so
She stalked too?
well,
She's
she
nuts.
kills
You saw her
people
too,
like
Jay
him.
Knight?
So yeah.
If I can.
Yeah.
It was one of those situations where I was looking at it. I was curious.
Mm-hmm.
And once that first episode, I got invested.
Yes.
Because it's like, imagine a hopeless romantic that's a killer.
That's a killer, right? That's basically what it is.
Yeah, and he will like
eliminate the competition.
And he will kill your people around you to have her for himself.
Yeah, so the obsession, I see.
Right.
And then
But
second
it's
season, I think he met his match.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I didn't finish the second season, but I was just like, whoa.
Yeah, it's good. It's
Word.
worth watching.
How many episodes a season?
Well, I think
it's
like
a 10.
something like that.
And it's the third season just came out like a week ago.
Yep.
So
Oh, really? So
yeah, so it's all.
I really gotta see it because he's like in a relationship when they
Yes.
both bugged out.
Yes.
Like, yeah, that's gonna be
Another series I should check out is Ozark if you haven't.
Oh,
I've heard good things about
I
Ozark.
love Ozark.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love. Fix them up.
Anybody ever watch Demon Slayer?
I got catch
I
up.
have not watched these.
Yeah,
I know
I was
it's
going back
old.
through it.
About it.
You bring this up.
I think the movie.
Demon Slayer is great, man. Demon Slayer, Hunter x Hunter,
Yeah.
and
I tried to get into Hunter
My
x Hunter,
Hero?
man. I could.
Yeah.
I couldn't do Hunter x Hunter. My Hero, I could do.
no, you got to get Hunter x Hunter is cold, bro.
I couldn't. I tried Hunter. but-
Gon and Killua are like my favorite two characters of most
So,
anime right now.
Did they bring back Hunter x Hunter from like 20 years ago?
Yeah, they redid it.
Wow.
Because the guy who did it, he said that there were corrections that he saw from when he first wrote it. So he wrote those corrections and made that corrections in the animation style, so that they eliminated some things that didn't work and put some other stuff in.
Wow.
So there's scenes that look the same, and then there's scenes that are slightly different.
Okay. Is that on Netflix?
I believe the new Hunter x Hunter is on Netflix.
Okay.
Yep.
Word.
So look, we got two guests in here.
Yes, we do.
Let's take a time out.
Talk to the guests.
and talk to the guests for a second.
Who are y'all?
Yeah, Ashley Woods. Who are you? Tell
am
us.
I?
Tell us who
Ashley
you
Woods,
are.
Who are you?
It sounds
Are
so
you?
cerebral. Well, I am a illustrator and designer. Some of my most recent projects includes Lovecraft Country. We're talking about horror, so that and
Yep.
this past summer, Wonder Woman Black and Gold for DC Comics.
Nice.
And right now working with Dark Horse on the Secret project that's also in horror.
Fly Factory.
Secret.
Cool. And Mr. Max. The silent but deadly guy over there.
Lurking.
Looking like the RZA. Looking like a young RZA right there with the hoodie up.
Lurking.
Yeah, I'm an artist, oil painter, and show on various galleries across states and overseas, and I'm also a muralist by way of the graffiti scene. So,
Okay.
Word.
Very cool.
Been doing murals in Chicago for over 20 years, and I guess my most recent stuff I did a collaboration with Puma for Juneteenth. Did a release of like
Dope.
clothing line with them, and then
Cool.
just got back from Sweden doing a project over there, and I've been just traveling this whole year, man. I've done large scale murals in about 6 different cities this year.
That's
Dope.
awesome.
That's
Dope.
awesome.
Just continuing, you know.
Okay.
Word. We happy to have y'all. Thank y'all for coming through and hanging out
So humble for such a.
with us.
Right.
I'm telling you, this team is like amazing, and they just chilling.
I mean, we got
Right.
we got Moxie over here. She works on set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the last TV show you did?
The last well, I've told them about it. It was this pilot for a show called The Nanny, which is like a.
But not with Fran.
Right, not with Frank. Yeah, people Drinky Bass and that. It's kind of like a murder mystery, but it was just the first episode, so we'll see.
I did like the nanny though.
Yeah, I did too. I love Fran.
You know what, the nanny? I had a crush on Fran.
She was great.
Yeah, she was cool.
I thought her voice was annoying. So
Yeah.
I
wasn't thinking about her voice.
Sorry. If I'm a tune in for 20 minutes, I need more than just a tight dress. I'm sorry.
Boy, we was kids. What you talking about?
Still, the voice was on my grade on my nerves. So sorry.
That old school Brooklyn Jewish.
That does it for you.
Yes.
That does it for you. You
It's
like a
something
nice
about
falafel fish?
It's something about a Brooklyn accent.
It is.
When it's heavy.
It comes out. It just be like, okay.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
That
That's
is
the only
real.
time I'll accept a shorty calling me son. I'm like, oh,
All right now.
Yeah. Hey, you come here. Give me a number, son. Like what?
all right, how do you want it?
Yeah.
Like this a stick-up move?
Right.
All right.
So yeah, man.
But speaking of New York, we had 2 New York Titans go against each other this weekend.
Brooklyn versus Bronx.
Yeah, Brooklyn versus Bronx in the KRS one.
Technically Brooklyn versus Brooklyn.
Yeah, technically.
But he
Brooklyn
was
versus
raised in the
Brooklyn.
Bronx, and he claims Bronx. on
South
his
Bronx,
own.
South Bronx.
It opened up with Fat Joe introducing, so
Which was legit.
So how did y'all? For those who watched it, how you feel about it?
It was a
think-
great moment.
Where did it land for you?
I think it was dope.
Oh, they were in a huge arena.
Oh yeah, they went in.
It's like a damn concert.
Okay,
They
so
were back in Madison Square Garden, right?
yeah.
Oh wow! Oh, that's awesome.
That facial expression that you just saw on KRS-One, which is in the very beginning,
Yeah.
is the standard for how he started.
He wanted to battle.
He
was in
came
battle
for it.
mode.
He didn't come like to just do songs. He came to actually do MC battling.
Yeah.
Wow, this hat. Yeah.
Long live the King.
For real.
Long live the
King
King.
Asiatic, no equal.
If he dressed any different, it would make sense.
No, he had to come being Kane, and he did. And he did all of his hits and did all of his flyness. But the thing that we talked about last week, which showed in watching it, is that Kane's catalog is not comparable.
Yeah.
We said that it's not a
Yeah.
comparable catalog.
His is more like dancey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even though he has like some moments where he can really get in, but KRS-One goes all over.
There was moments when KRS was doubling up songs on him. Like, yo, I got 2 for your 1. Like,
Yeah.
real quick.
That wasn't cool, I didn't think. Because, like, you cut one short, then he would do another one. It's like, where they do that at?
Right.
I thought it was like a song apiece. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, he was just showing him like, yo, I'm just gonna run through this right quick just to let you know you really wasting your time, but we doing this because you my brother.
And that cockiness was accepted. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was understood, and Kane understood what it was.
Yeah. Kane knew what he was getting into. He know they homies, so they knew that it was going that KRS-One when he gets on stage, all connections and associations are cut off. I love you off stage, but on stage you are my food.
Yeah, that's the Jordan rule. Jordan was
Yeah.
like, we can be buddies when we not on the court.
But on that stage,
And even
it's my
Big Daddy
backyard.
Kane had that moment where he tried to remind everybody, yeah, you know, this dude helped me move when I was struggling. Him and his wife helped me move into my place. And Kara's one
be
girl,
like, yeah, okay.
whatever.
So I'm about to do this next song.
I'm about to freestyle on you.
Fucking this shit. We cool enough.
Fuck these memories.
Right, fuck these memories, yo.
Fuck these memories.
I'm really amazed at how huge Versus has become. It's like it went from this quarantine thing
Right.
to like this massive,
Look at
like
that.
big.
To this-
I mean, that's
now-
Do
now-
people buy tickets to it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
It's a ticketed.
This is-
People
this
buy
is-
tickets and it's a
Y'all
And
remember us?
Like a
concert.
concert.
You remember
They pay for online streaming too.
Yeah,
so
I-
this is getting money.
Yeah, I
so
found-
it's not
So
even
you
just
get
on
Apple
Instagram
Money,
no more.
you get streaming Apple Money, you get the Thriller, and then of course there's Instagram and shit.
Right.
And then you know,
Wow.
if you want to be there, you could go and be
Yeah, I found out a friend of mine went
crazy.
to the Locks Diplomat. So I just found out a couple weeks ago. He was like,
Oh,
like he had
man.
posted some pictures. I was like, you went? He was like, yeah. He was like, shit, I drove. I was like, cool.
Damn.
You remember
So-
Teddy Riley?
Danny Riley
His-
put in the air right now.
Yeah, but see, there was also there's a thing that has to come into play with showmanship,
Yeah.
and the people who have showmanship, they do well. The people who are just entertainers for the sake of entertainment, meaning they're just studio performers, that also shows when they have their moment. It's like, yeah, we didn't need to see you at all. You're not good at this. We could have just played your songs by ourselves. And so a lot of these rappers are starting to say that, like, yo, when we come on, we're a part of a culture that when we're on stage, this ain't about playing the record.
It's
Well, see,
performing
that-
arts.
Yeah, that and also nowadays everything's about marketing. It's about the whole package instead of just the talent.
Yeah.
So that goes
Indeed.
across the board in all industries.
Indeed, it is the marketing. Marketing goes for marketing.
When you
is
perform,
up
that's
there.
marketing.
Yeah,
It is.
It's promoting.
Well, it demonstrated craft too, because one of the things that stood out between the two of them was Big Daddy Kane performed his songs, and he did his songs perfectly, like fast flows, everything. He did them perfectly. But what KRS One does, which is unique, is that even songs you know, he spits them differently, and he can every time
Because
he
he
does
brings
it.
a different energy.
Yeah.
And that's the
Yeah.
MC energy. You know what I mean? So he go in and he know, if you know the song from back to forth, you're not going to spit it the same way for over 20 years, especially live. And you're going to feel the crowd, the energy of the crowd. They may know the song too. I'll let y'all rock with it. You know what I mean? At that point, you could swing any way. You know, but it's just the master of the MC. He was rocking the stadium. and they
controlled the
was-
crowd.
They was fucking singing Criminal Minded and shit. Like, you just hear this shit.
He
like,
could just drop the mic. That's what Big Daddy Kane didn't do.
Yeah.
Yeah, KRS-One could pull the mic away from him, and the crowd still saying
Kept
bars.
going, and
There
he would
wasn't a
just-
lot of that for Big Daddy Kane.
But
Yeah.
KRS-One had a lot of bangers, like the premiere joints, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Returning the Boot Bap joints, motherfucking.
And
MCs
still
act
didn't
like
do
they don't
all of
know
them.
And shit. And yeah,
He
this
didn't
shit
touch a
start
lot
jumping.
of bangers.
It just start jumping.
he I think I was telling you earlier, prior to this, somebody put together on YouTube a pre-battle video which showed all their live performances.
Okay.
And there's one online with KRS and
Capri.
Kid Capri. Murderous. I was just like, whoa, Kane's gonna get his ass handed.
See, and the DJs mixed it up too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scratch wanted to mix it up against Capri and shit.
Yeah, he took his shoe off.
Oh, right, he took his shoe off. He put
Yeah.
his foot into it. So nah, I think I like it. It was dope. It was energetic. It was hip hop. Hey man.
Yeah, Versus has been good for the culture overall. I think overall, whether you have liked every Versus or not, I think overall it's been a good thing for the culture, for the music culture, for live performance culture, to see have artists see these icons come out here and do these things and go against each other and compare
and the
notes.
youngins see this shit too, so it's
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? It's like maybe you take something to heart and you see the history. Like we were saying, they don't go and check for the
They
old
don't
school.
know.
They don't
Yeah.
know shit. But this kind of like give them that outlet, that source. It's like, yo, all right, well, this is some real MCing right here.
Yeah.
From
Right.
the 80s, fam.
And
Right.
And
this
songs
still
that are
strong
timeless.
today. There's something about that.
It's
You know
a
what I
learning
mean?
tool.
Yeah.
Right.
Performance, bars, song structure,
Mm-hmm.
all of that. Just the whole art of emceeing You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you're not mumbling. This is. I mean, Big Daddy Kane. I mean, come on.
Syllables, like every
Exactly.
single consonant.
And Chris was breaking down the formula of his flow. Like if he doing double syllables, he was breaking that down, emphasizing on those words.
Yeah.
Exactly.
On stage, so you could catch. Like if you had the bouncing ball, you know what I mean? Like you could see it. You know what I mean? You could see the words and how he was enunciating.
Because he the
I
teacher.
agree.
He's the
I
teacher.
agree.
And he was teaching. He served class. Remember he said at the end, he said, I came here to let y'all know and remind everybody that I am the number one.
Yeah.
And he did it.
And he was serious. He said any MC that wants to challenge that.
Go ahead.
And he'll do it. We know we know he won't back
I
down.
mean, he said he always write a battle verse for the top 20.
Every year, yeah. He's the Batman of hip hop.
Always ready.
Contingency plans for everybody. Oh, you want to go rogue? I got you.
Got you.
I want to hear his bars that he got for the top 20.
I mean,
Already got Nelly.
all his bars is already there. You
Yeah,
know what
okay,
I'm
not Nelly. Not Nelly.
Who did he go against? Ludacris?
Who?
Nelly, yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying. Didn't he go against Ludacris? Okay.
Oh yeah, Nelly battled. Yeah,
Yeah.
versus he went against Ludacris.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
But
that.
they didn't have the stage.
Right, that
I
was
didn't see
still
that
in
either.
quarantine.
Yeah, they was very much just playing. They was playing songs on.
Oh, that was the early days before they had.
It was still in
that was the early days.
Yeah, I think they should redo
the
that
early
one.
days. That was last year.
Last year, right?
The early days
the
of the
early
early
days.
days of the pandemic.
You're so spoiled,
Right.
humans.
I meant the early days of verses.
So
Right.
maybe they need a do over. They should they deserve a do
So
over.
they deserve a do-over.
I mean I like Ludacris enough
So,
to see that.
what, Manny Fresh and what, Scott Storch? What about RZA and Premier? They need to do over?
No,
Yeah.
but people, it's
Yeah.
interesting. We have yet to see other than hip hop performers actually really go there in the verses, like where they're like the singers are really going.
I mean, what kicked all the whole format off was the Beanie
The
Man,
Beanie Man.
and Bounty Killer.
They still rappers to
That
me.
set the standard.
Yeah.
If you think about it,
They
that
did.
set the standard.
That opened
so
it up.
Then after that, everybody
Redman and them
started-
came in, yep.
Exactly. Everybody started emulating the formula.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But that's what we need. Like put a Jill Scott back up there with an Erykah Badu and let them really sing and go at it.
I won't like this.
Let
Who
them
would go
really-
against Jennifer Hudson?
Does she have any,
Fantasia.
how many albums do she have?
But her voice powerful as fuck.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, so is Fantasia.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it was probably
Fantasia.
That's
Yeah,
another one.
Fantasia.
Jill Scott versus Erykah Badu. When you was talking about Big Daddy Kane trying to get nostalgic with
Yeah.
and then KRS was like, all right, whatever. That's how it was with Jill Scott and Erykah.
Agreed.
Because Jill Scott started talking about her feelings, and then
And
Erykah was like, she was
Whatever,
like,
we
need
gonna
to
play
do
these
this.
songs.
Yeah,
We gonna play these
Oh, that's
songs.
nice. That's
Jill
really
was like
nice. All right, next
big
song.
up in her the whole time. Like,
right.
oh, you're my idol. I look out to you.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, next song.
Right.
I deal with
Can
that.
I get a window seat?
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunity open now for people to figure some things out. Like this was a full-on display of like the culture.
I mean, he brought out break dancers. The DJs mixed it up.
Cisco versus Drew Hill.
We never gonna get R. Kelly
Drew Hill
versus Aaron
so-
Hall.
It should be like Drew Hill
From
versus
prison?
112.
Never gonna get that, man.
Yeah, that would be a good
That
one.
would
Or
be
against
nice.
Blackstreet.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But Big Daddy brought out Nice and Smooth and the Juice Crew, Master Ace and Craig G.
Is that Scoop and Scrap?
That was not them. That was Crazy Legs out there at one
That's
point.
Crazy Legs.
No, that's not
He
Crazy
ain't
Legs
get
there.
canceled?
Who?
I thought Crazy Legs got canceled.
Nah.
Sean Rocker said yes.
I was like,
That was
yeah,
a
I
strong
thought-
yes
I thought
from the
that was
Rocker.
canceled. I thought son got canceled with them allegations.
But he was there.
Yeah.
Well, you know
Wow.
KRS.
Indeed.
Oh, you said, oh, what we talking about?
we ain't going there. we leaving that.
yeah.
We leaving that. be.
Leaving that out there.
Leaving that out. But yo, it's that time, y'all. It's been a dope show.
Dope,
It
dope,
has
dope.
been a dope show. So
Frank is happy everybody showed up.
Frank in the building, hanging.
Right.
Man, Frank had a sexy seltzer.
Frank had a
He
sexy
did. He
seltzer.
was sipping
Oh
it up.
man,
Don't drink it, Frank.
Exactly.
Damn,
Matches
Frank.
He got the matching colors.
he matching the sexy seltzer and whatnot.
Exactly.
Frank, Man, well, you know,
that's gonna be our first sponsor.
right?
Watch.
Sexy seltzer.
All you can drink.
Yeah, all you can drink. All you can drink.
It's only like about a sip.
I mean,
All right, got the jingle.
it's right. He coming up with the hook for him right now.
So
It's
yo,
just a
man,
sip.
I like to thank everybody that showed up.
Yes.
Thank you, Ash. Thank you, Max. Thank you, J-Dot. Thank you, Ambi. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Mox.
Yes.
Thank you, myself. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Yes.
It's been a dope ass episode.
It has.
The jam-packed Fly Nerd Group.
Yes.
Deep in the
Love it.
street.
Yes.
And follow everyone on social media.
Yeah, everybody give your social media right quick.
Yes.
Yeah, follow us on social media, and we'll make sure we hit y'all with a great goodbye. So, Coach E Soul Star to my right,
Cosmo Galactic.
to my left,
Ashley A. Woods.
sitting right there at the end,
Moxie Peaches.
my man right there,
Sansing.
for sure.
Batman.
So weird.
Ambi Man.
And providing the sonic soundscapes, the one, the only.
J to the DOT.
Word.
Young Dynamis.
Word to Sean Rocker, Intel Music Group for holding us down. Fly Nerd Group.
Peace.
Be out of here.
Bye.